Test, 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 test. Hello, hello. Welcome. Hope everybody is doing wonderfully tonight. Happy New Year to folks who are joining us for the first time since the new year has begun. I hope you are well rested. I hope you've had an excellent opportunity to reconnect with family and loved ones or avoid them if you're the sort of person who finds that sort of thing daunting and stressful. Um, I am John. I am here with another episode of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Tonight, my energy level might be slightly lower than usual because I have gotten my vaccines recently, which you should do, by the way. Get your shots, people. But as a result, I'm feeling a little bit, pseudo sick. So forgive me if I'm a tiny bit more subdued, but we're just going to have a chill, nice, relaxing slaughterfest over here in the world of the painting and mellow out and enjoy some lovely tunes, some lovely, Mortal Kombat and all of that sort of thing. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. It's good to see you, Saria. Congratulations again on your first week of the new chapter of the new adventure. I'm glad to hear that things seem to be going well, although maybe today was a little bit less extravagant in terms of your goings on with your tutor or whatnot. But I mean, it seems like the thing is positive overall. Yeah, I hope that's certainly hope that is continuing to be the case. Yeah, absolutely. It's important to get the vaccines. I mean, I've been procrastinating for a little while because I didn't want to deal with the sickness and all that. But I mean, like, my partner is a doctor, so it's like it's not like I really had a choice, which is good. I shouldn't be, fucking around with this stuff. I should take care of my health, and it's good that I have a medical professional to remind me that, taking my health seriously is actually important to do. So I'm glad of that, even though I'm probably gonna whine about it tonight a little bit. But yeah, you say, Saria says, they thought you're going to be late tonight because my lovely lady friend took me out to eat. Oh, that's wonderful. Is that do you mean your partner, or do you have another lady friend in your life? Not trying to pry or anything, but certainly hope that you are having a good time and making good connections and all that. That's really good to hear. Yeah, I guess I never asked. I mean, I know you have some friends, friends and family who are coming with you in your new adventure to support you. But I'm guessing that you, or I would have guessed that you don't know, one second, anybody at your new place. But I mean, sorry, that you don't know anybody in the area where you are currently staying, other than people coming with you. But maybe that was incorrect. Do you actually have any friends there, or have you met any new people that you think you might like to spend more time with? Oh, you say yes, your partner. Okay, well that's fine. I have I am well aware that people have different friends in different capacities, and some have multiple friends of certain capacities. So no judgments there from me, believe me. But either way, I'm just glad to know that you're having a nice evening connecting with somebody. That's always good. And your partner seems to be, very very supportive and understanding and all that, which is a rare thing, but a very nice thing, especially when undergoing a major transition as you are doing at the moment. But yeah, it's an incredible opportunity. One second. Damn it, a little too early there. Yeah, I had a previous partner who was really interested in studying birds and had an opportunity to go work at Cornell. And I encouraged her to go because the Cornell Avian Research Institute, or whatever it's called, is one of the leading ones in the country. But she couldn't bear to be apart from her family. I offered to go with her, or at least to be open to doing the long distance thing if that didn't work out. But for her, it was not an option to be away from the people she cared about, which I respect. But it's sort of unfortunate that I couldn't find a way to give her everything that she wanted, But it's really nice when that works out. You don't know anyone here? Oh, that's understandable. Yeah, I kind of figured that would be the case, but I just realized that I hadn't asked. But yeah, how much work are they giving you? Are you like, um, uh, is it like a full-time thing where you're basically working a job and studying and everything at the same time? Grandi Engineer says, "Greetings, oh my, I've not met an expeditioner in quite some time. Or anyone else for that matter. Hello, hello, how wonderful to meet you. I've been lost in these sunless woods for as long as I can remember. Luckily, I fell in with a rather lively crowd of Gestral. They welcomed me as one of their own. I helped, I suppose, that I'm an engineer by trade and could fix their weapons and sakabatats. They do so love to fight, which resulted in quite a bit of breakage. Sadly, it also resulted in quite the death toll, and not all of it at the hands of Neverons. Their zest for battle sometimes went too far, friendly fire and all that, or maybe unfriendly fire. And though my Justral friends could resurrect, the death true grew so high that it overwhelmed the queue at the sacred river." That's kind of funny and morbid at the same time. They were all my friends and they kept dying and resurrecting, losing their memory of me each time. Oh, that sucks. That's sad. It broke my heart, it did. I couldn't bear it anymore, so I wrote to Golgra for help. That was perhaps not the best idea. Golgra's solution was rather severe. Golgra decided to kill every Justral here and plant their bodies in the ancient sanctuary. I believe they're still there now, awaiting their turn at the river. Yeah. Such is the Justral way. Just like that, I lost all my friends. Poor guy. It is a lonely, albeit more peaceful life these days. Anyway, I've worked tirelessly on improving their Sakapatat to properly honor their memory. If you find them walking around, feel free to fight them. After all, this is what my friends would have wanted. God, I love my friends so much, but I've been separated from them because they wouldn't stop fucking killing each other. But if you see them, make sure to beat the shit out of them because that's what they would have wanted in life. I love this messed up, like, society of the Gestral. It's such a creative invention, and so, like, weirdly, like, darkly funny. I have to reiterate that whoever came up with the theming and writing and personality for the Gestral did an amazing job. Like, it's really hard to do comedy at all. It's also hard to do comedy in games in particular, and they did a really good job. I find myself laughing like all the damn time when the Gestral are on stage. Also, I think I messed up a little bit there, but that's fine. Oh, never mind. Damn, I'm really bad at predicting that. Oh well. Also realizing that my builds, like, I saw a clip of somebody with like an actually like well optimized build online, and I'm like, I'm nowhere near you know, where I could or should be, I guess you can say, in terms of like actually getting my build to work. But at this point, I don't want to spend too much time just like, you know, in the weeds crafting with that stuff. I'd rather just kind of spend time diving into the game and learning and making mistakes. Saria says it's funnier when you realize they're just pups and they have the resurrection without memories. They can always have a new experience. So I love that. Yeah, that's wonderful. It is kind of morbid, but I mean, like, this game has a way of dealing with morbid concepts in a way that's also like weirdly wholesome. I don't know why I can't seem to ever predict that explosion. I don't know if that made much sense, but yeah, like, I mean, this game is extremely dark at times in that it deals with morbidity or mortality and like the fragility of the human experience and some real dark, intense depictions of suffering, but it also manages to find these beautiful and I think well-earned moments of levity amidst that. You know, it's funny, I was talking to somebody recently about a game that I really like called What Remains of Edith Finch, and they said that they hated that game because they didn't feel like it earned its moments of emotional, like, the moments that are, how can I say, like, particularly, wait, sorry, did I not have, oh, I don't have a crowd, oh wait, no I do, here we go, Phantom Strike, that's what I was looking for. Like, the moments that are, like, emotionally, one second, again, I can't seem to time that right, emotionally piquant or whatever, you know, like very, compelling and sad that they aren't earned. And I never really understood that. Like, I personally felt that it did a really good job of dealing with a lot of extremely poignant emotional moments, and maybe because I was able to relate to the characters fairly well, I didn't really feel like they had to do anything to earn them. You know, the makers of the game just kind of had to show up and make their game and tell their story, and I was more than happy to listen. I didn't think that they had to do anything in particular to earn it, beyond just like depicting things in a genuine way. But I think if we're gonna have that conversation too early about a game like Clair Obscur, like, I do think that this game earns it. Like, I think I understand what that person was saying, that like they don't want sadness and suffering and stuff to just be used in a token way or exploitative way. They don't want you, the player, to be told it's time to feel sad now, it's time to feel happy now. Like, they want the game to cultivate it naturally, as opposed to just like explaining it to you, like the game mansplaining how you should feel. And I guess they had a different experience than I did. But this game in particular, I mean, like, it explores the whole spectrum of emotions, you know, like from some pretty dark stuff to some pretty light stuff and everything in between. And I genuinely feel like each of those different like realms of exploration, so to speak, feel well earned, feel like deserving, for lack of a better word. I don't know if that makes much sense, but yeah. I have to work hard to even try to think of an example of the game handling an emotional topic or issue that I thought was like unearned or poorly executed. I guess, like, arguably, sex and sexual relationships, if you compare the way that this game deals with the romance and sex aspect of things compared to something like Baldur's Gate. I mean, sexuality is dealt with in a way that's more like adult, or not adult. I mean, sexuality is an adult thing anyway, but like in a more, I guess, mature or refined way. How can I say? There's more nuance to it. It's like, it just doesn't really show up in this game very much. Obviously, there's the relationship between, not Verso, what's his name? Well, yeah, between Verso and Ciel, if you pursue that. But then between Renoir and, I never remember the mom's name, Alina. But within the game itself, like, apart from Verso's like romance option, it doesn't really come up. Now, given that one of your party members is 15, I think that's probably fine. You know, especially since arguably the protagonist of the game is 15. It's not something the game had to deal with, and it's probably a good thing that they didn't dive into that too much. But if I'm looking for, like, you know, one thing to point out, I will say that the whole romance, quote unquote, between Ciel and our character felt the character I'm currently controlling, felt a little bit shoehorned in. It felt like a little bit more like checking off a checkbox, if that makes sense, as opposed to something that was explored in depth. But even then, you know, Ciel, it does kind of relate to Ciel's character and her desire to kind of keep things chill and make the most out of the moment and recognize the limited time that she has and stuff like that. So even then, I'm really reaching to try to find something to be negative about, and it's like, well, what's the point even, you know? It's you have to, the fact that you have to put in effort to slander this game is just more praise for the game, you know what I mean? And honestly, like, I don't find myself sitting here being like, dude, I wish they showed more dicks. Like, this game was like an 8 out of 10 for me. It would have gone up to a 9.5 if there were just more wieners on screen. Like, where's the full frontal nudity, Sandfall? Like, like, obviously not, right? Alright, this looks like it could be fun. Hey, let's just go straight for... Well, let's go straight for a whiff, apparently.
Montre-moi ce que tu sais faire.
Okay, not bad, not a bad start. Oh, that's right, I get another turn. Burning Canvas. Yeah, let's just go for the ultimate, guys. Yeah, you can tell I'm not on my game tonight with the, like, I'm already whiffing quite a few of these attacks. Damn, okay. Well, let's see. Who's low? You're pretty low. Yeah, let's deal with the lowest characters first. See if I can bust that arm off. I do like the incorporation of the, you know, limb destruction and stuff. That's a nice mechanic to include. I will say that, it's... They did such a good job of, like, finding ways to keep the combat... One second. Feeling fresh and, like, to continue to expand. Like, the game continues to expand on its own mechanics gradually over time, and just, like, you know, it's enough that they put in the free aim mechanic in and of itself, and it's enough that they added, like, the concept of having what do you call it, like, critical points to shoot, but then evolving that with having the critical points that actually are hidden, and then having to, like, exploit the characters' animations and stuff in order to expose them. I mean, like, they didn't have to do that, right? But they still, you know, looked for an opportunity to try to continue keeping things interesting, and I really appreciate that. That, like, they were allowed to, I think, encouraged to continue to, like, evolve the concepts that they established at the beginning of the game throughout the game, and they succeeded in that regard. And it's hard. It's genuinely challenging to do that, you know. I will say, like, talking to some of my friends about the Game Awards, I do feel like maybe Clair Obscur got too many awards, and, like, I can't think of any award that I wish they hadn't gotten. Like, when you take every single award that they got, I'm like, I'm glad they got this one. I'm glad they got that one, right? But it was such a sweep, you know? I kind of feel bad for... I wonder if there should be limits on how many awards any particular game can win, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, I'm not entirely sure that, like, it's necessary, you know, for... Well, I don't know, because then it gets tough, right? Like, if Clair Obscur's audio team genuinely had the best audio of the year, then why not reward them by acknowledging that they had... Oh, sweet. You know, specifically acknowledging their audio team. Be like, well, they already won Game of the Year, so they can't win an audio award too. But that would kind of be a unfortunate thing for their audio team specifically. But I don't know, like... I do wonder if it was a little bit unfair to some of the other folks out there, you know. But then we had this conversation as well about, like... Sorry, one second. Like, how the people who won the audio award for the TGAs this year were Battlefield, and Battlefield have traditionally had, like, one of the best audio teams in the industry. They're, like, pioneers and trendsetters, and it's nearly impossible to find a team that has, like, a better sense of mix and precision in their overall audio presentation, because they've just been... It's like, you're really not gonna find a better open world game than a GTA, right? Or like an RDR2. Now, that I say that with a big caveat, in that pound for pound, the amount of game you get out of something like Red Dead Redemption 2 and everything that you can do in that game, all the individual things that game enables you to do as a player, you know, all the different aspects of it, the like animals you can come across, all the side mechanics, the character stories, all the little emergent moments, like that stuff is absolutely incredible. Because ever since GTA 3, which is like 20-30 years ago, I forget how long, they have basically been doing one thing, which is to make, like, open world immersive sims, and they've been taking that same tech and, like, building on it over and over and over and over and over again, just making it more expansive, more elaborate. So just in terms of, like, having a simulated world, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to ever beat Rockstar at their game. But then again, I would still say, well, first of all, I vastly prefer like you know, Elden Ring to GTA 5 or RDR2. I think it's, as a video game, it's like infinitely better. I just think that like Red Dead Redemption 2 is a better sim, like it's a better ecosystem or whatever, because they just have billions of dollars and decades of experience making a sim. That makes sense. So this is all just like a big clunky stupid analogy to try to emphasize how, like, I think finally we get to see this thing, that basically Dice and Battlefield is like the equivalent of that from an audio standpoint. It's not like they necessarily have the most, I mean, like, their team is creative for sure. It's not necessarily like they have the most paintbrush style audio design, so to speak, right? But in terms of just like impressionism and like artistic abstraction and stuff like that, maybe not, but in terms of just overall fidelity, like, yeah. But should an award go to a team like that? Yeah, sure. But like, I almost feel like it belongs in a different category from, um, you know, from Clair Obscur, because this game, to me, the mix itself, like the actual frequency distribution, like the technical details of how much bass you're getting at any moment versus how much treble you're getting or whatever, like whether you can hear a character clearly over the sound of combat or whatever, there's technical stuff like that that I don't think this game does as well as Battlefield. But it doesn't need to, because it's not like an extremely high stakes, like super fast paced, multiplayer, whatever 30v30 battle simulator. It doesn't need to do that. Battlefield doesn't have like graceful, flowing, abstract, impressionist art sound effects that are telling a story about human suffering or whatever. And the story of France and every single sound effect, but they don't need to. So I guess the way to kind of like fairly evaluate a goal assignment like that would be to say, okay, how well does the game do what it personally set out to do? So like, if Clair Obscur's goal was to be very expressive and abstract, how well did it do at being expressive and abstract? And if Dice's goal was, or like Battlefield's goal was to be precise and technical, how well did they do at that? And that's one way to basically just be like, there's no objectively best sound design, because the best sound design is just the sound design that best suits the project. It best tells the story that the game is trying to tell. But I do think it would be, if there were a game audio award specifically, I would definitely be interested in having like a best storytelling through sound. Wow, I love this thing. Versus like best mix, best mastering, best engineering, stuff like that. Best audio systems. But I guess that's probably too granular for something like the Game Awards, especially since like this year they kind of just rammed through a whole bunch of awards to get to the next trailer announcement. It's more of an E3 thing now. Saria says, if you limit awards because someone's getting too many, I feel at that point you just have to start giving awards just for showing up, but I don't have any real stake. You never really watch. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm worrying too much about it, honestly. Oh, by the way, thank you for the recommendation of Ocarina. I ordered one. I think I forget if it was STL or Songbird. I think Songbird. But I got one and I placed an order and it shipped in literally like 20 minutes. It was almost like they were there waiting for me. And they were just like, oh, a customer, welcome. And they just immediately sent it. It should be here next week. So I'm very excited. I was inspired by your Ocarina rendition, and I tried to, that you shared in Discord a little while ago, and I tried to play my cello along with the Wind Waker theme to do like Makar's part, but unfortunately the tuning is, the key that it's in is just sort of difficult based on my skill level, so I wasn't able to do a very good job. But now that I have an ocarina and not like a four-stringed ocarina, so to speak, I can maybe actually try to do something with it. funny. I feel like I missed quite a few of those combos, but or those parries, but the game was being quite generous to me. Oh, you love Ocarina playing. That's wonderful. Do you have just the one Ocarina? Have you gotten more since then? And what are some of your favorite songs to play? I assume that you like to play a lot of Zelda stuff, obviously. Curious if you've been learning anything recently. Obviously, you have a lot going on, so don't expect you're there grinding it out for 12 hours a day. Play again on breaking a target. That's cool. Yeah. There's going to be very little intelligent build craft tonight because I don't think my brain can handle it. Just like, I just wanted to make sure to keep up with the game because, you know, I was like, fuck, do I even stream tonight? But like, I want to keep making progress with it. I think I don't want to stop doing the Naruto streams entirely, but I think at this point, like I kind of hinted at this before. I was telling my partner this the other day. I kind of feel like I'm getting to the point where I've said pretty much what I wanted to say. A big part of the motivation for starting the Naruto streams was to like find my parasocial way, so to speak, of contributing to a conversation. I feel like I did that, and there's still topics I want to cover. Like I really want to talk about Sage Naruto versus Pain, and I could keep doing debate reviews. I mean, like the Bubbles versus Noodles one is interesting. And you know, there's other ones we could go back and look at, like Afro versus Seth and all that. But at this point, like I haven't seen that many new debates that have been like really all that engaging and had like all that many new topics brought forward. Like they're either extremely toxic or just kind of repetitive or both. And I don't know how many more times I'm gonna say like Noodles is a doofus or like Key hurt my feelings or whatever before I just get tired of it. So I think before I get exhausted, I'm probably gonna just make it like I do gaming streams on a regular basis, and I do like pop-up Naruto streams where I address specific topics. Because I've already started working on the next Naruto video, and I think I want to spend more time with that. But yeah, I want to play more games on stream. I'd love to go back and play some classic RPGs like Wizardry and Nox. Maybe do some more JRPGs. For a long time I wanted to make a video where I basically like compare the opening 5 hours of 5 or 10 different RPGs and see like how they handle their opening acts, kind of like I did for the stream talking about Elden Ring and how it like lures you in. Also, I'm just realizing now that, so this guy's called Anthony Poe. I wonder if some of the Gestral had like the names of Kickstarter backers or anything like that, because this seems, maybe not, but this seems like a one that kind of sticks out a little bit. Saria says, I play that and the kalimba, that's beautiful, yeah. And I mostly play just Zelda songs and try to practice. It's easier on kalimba, but the amount of air in on ocarina is like je m'en bats les cuits, which means you're beating your balls. Okay, you know, giving them the Italians as well. Ti stai rompendo I coglioni, we would say you're busting your balls. Yes, of course. Well, I think regardless of our own possession of balls, we can all experience the shared human sensation of having our balls busted. So it's a universal language for sure. But yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, so I think I told you before, I went to a music school, and when I was a kid, to like a conservatory in Italy, and I did very poorly there, mostly because I spent all my fucking time where I was supposed to be practicing and studying for exams and stuff, because I was oh, hi friend, because I was just playing Zelda songs on the piano literally all the time. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. Sometimes I would also play songs from like Yoshi's the Yoshi game on fucking SNES, Yoshi's Island. But yeah, it was like most of the time I was supposed to be playing piano, I was just playing fucking like video game songs. So and Zelda was one of my favorites, of course. Like Ocarina of Time has one of the most like legendary, just flawless soundtracks, and it's so impressive because like they did so much with so little. Like they had like so much of their sound design and so much of their like music is derived from using a very small library of samples and a very small library of instruments, but like bringing them to their max. Like they just did such an amazing job of like taking a single like quarter second of a sound, but using all kinds of different combinations of like pitch manipulation and effects and delay and stuff to make one sound like 10 different things, pushing and pulling and stretching it to make them just so much I don't know, more compelling. Like they invented a paradigm of sound design based on constraint that people even now today with much more resources and everything struggle to keep up with, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's see. Grillesong on Twilight Start. Apply mark to all enemies. Interesting. Hitting a marked enemy doesn't remove the mark. Oh, that's really good actually. I'm not really using her right now, but I think I should keep that in reserve. Defense 1000 and speed 413. Apply shell on applying rush. That's probably really good. Apply mark on break. That's okay. Critical burn. Oh, I already have it, but this is an upgrade to it. Increased critical chance on burning enemies. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to get this to keep it in reserve. Let's see what else. Should probably get some of those. Health 2000. Oh my god. Healing an ally also applies powerful one turn. This would be really good for Monoko, I think, or any support. 10% increased damage per shield point on self. That could also be very powerful. Protecting attack. Gain shell for one turn on base attack. If that was shield, it would be incredible. But oh my god, 3000 health. This guy's insane. Marked gradient charge. 20% of a gradient charge on hitting a marked target. That could be very useful as well. Yeah, for what's his fucking name? Verso. Even just having the Lumina available for that, right? Healing tends also play rush. Speed and critical after free aim hit base attack damage increased by 50%. That is going to be great for Verso as well. And it's called Versatile as well. Obviously, I'm like over pronunciating it, but yeah. Pronunciating, that's a new word. You can you can probably tell my brain, like I'm kind of fucked up tonight, sorry. But yeah. Maybe I won't talk as much tonight. Sorry, I have a spicy question for you. And you don't have to answer if it's like uncomfortable at all, so no pressure. But I'm curious. So when I was growing up in Italy, like there's a reputation, I think, that the romance countries like Italy they're all about love and free love and expression and acceptance and all of that. Ooh la la, right? But honestly, like there were more slurs and slander for gay in when I was a kid in Italy than I've run into as an adult in the United States. Like unsurprisingly, because it's a Catholic country, after all, it's the seat of the fucking Vatican. There is a significant amount of homophobia in Italy, and I think it's better now. I think also because like some well-known celebrities have like come out as gay, but I don't know. Like it's been a long time since I lived there long enough to know the culture, and like it's kind of ironic given that like the standard for like male grooming and presentation and just like being in touch with your feminine side, as one way to put it, in Italy is obviously like would be considered very very gay by the sort of homophobic rhetoric spewers here in the States, right? Because like I don't know, like I don't know if anybody even knows the term metrosexual anymore, but that was used when I was a kid to describe like the way that European men are a little bit more refined, let's just say, and more in touch with their dynamics as opposed to American men. But anyway, this is all just a ramble to say that like I think some people might expect, not knowing, they might expect Italy as an example to be more accepting or just more somehow open to different forms of love. It was not the case when I was there. Very homophobic. Um, how is it in France? Do you know if I after seeing the Olympics and seeing like support for queer identity and also for like polyamory and stuff as part of the intro like video and iconography and stuff like that for the Olympics, it feels like Paris at least is a city that can be a bit of a refuge for people who are divergent, so to speak. But I don't know if that's true of the entire country, of the political system, of like opportunities for marriage and stuff like that. Um, yeah. Oh, your carry fixation. Yeah, I want to apologize again. I really would like to respond to every message that you've left. I haven't had a chance to respond with the kind of detail that is like respectful of the amount of effort that you've put in, if that makes sense, in a while, because I've been, either tired or sick or dealing with holiday stuff. Excuses. But just know that I do read them. I read your posts both in the gaming channel and in the carry channel. And please always feel free to share, even if I don't, respond right away. I'm not ignoring you, and I want you to know that I support and encourage um the passion and the dedication, and like it's so cool to see somebody like get hooked into something with their mind and just like discover a new way of connecting with it like you're doing. Like it's really really cool. Obviously I don't have the same level of knowledge about Carrie to really be able to advance the conversation. I do want to see at least one or two of them, of the iterations of the story. um I did see the original. It was a long time ago. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling again. All this is just to say that, despite being slow to respond or maybe not getting a chance to respond to everything, I really love seeing it, and I hope you'll continue as much as you like. And I hope that you feel encouraged and supported. Like, I'm going to keep repeating, make a video, make a video, make a video, like a broken record. But obviously you don't have to. But like, that's just to reinforce the idea that the stuff that you've done is absolutely worthy of sharing and worthy of celebrating it. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna take a drink of tea. 1 second. Your partner has been so supportive with your carry fixation, and yeah, admittedly it's because we're lesbians and we're talking about lesbian subtext and a retelling of an iconic story. But she complements your I'm just gonna read what you said. Sorry. She complements my comprehension, analysis, and media literacy, so it often makes my face burn with the reddest of reds feeling smart. That's genuinely wonderful. I'm glad that she's hearing you out and that she's like reflecting your passion for it as well. It feels like there's a unique kind of happy feeling that I get when like I'm talking passionately about something and somebody else is like, "Oh, you mean this, right?" And like they just get it, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, you understand, right? And then like my partner does such a good job of that. Honestly, it's like one of the things that I found to be the most rare and the most precious in relationships that I've had, is just that spirit of like, I'm not just hanging around you because I like being around you or because I like some of the benefits of being in a relationship with you, but I like your brain. I want to hear what you have to say. And like, I want to encourage your brain to keep working the way it does, right? And like, I've been really lucky in that my partner encourages that in me. And like, when I, to use the term fixation or special interest or whatnot, like, I'm the same way with like Dark Souls theories, for example. I had like probably 10 hours of footage on my phone of me, like I'd be driving around in the car and I'd turn on like a video capture or something like that. Like 1 second. And just start to record like my idea, my concept or whatever for like a lore explanation. And it's so convoluted because there's so many different things to consider and evaluate within the lore. And then I come home and then I start like repeating it all to my partner, and she's like, yeah, oh, this is the thing you were telling me the other day about like the dragons, right? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so lucky. Sorry for the bad timing. I need to run to the bathroom real quick, so I'm gonna put the little birds up, and I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Sorry for the break. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Okay. Okay, sorry. It says France is very awesome. I was there last year, which sounds obnoxious. I was there in like September or November, so I'll say that. It's not obnoxious at all. You went there and then to Italy for your cousin's wedding, and everyone was so nice about me being a lesbian, even though I don't talk to those family members often. That's really wonderful to hear. I'm really glad to hear that, genuinely. Um, you thought you were the only one who records yourself? No, no, no. I need to do it because like I have a really bad memory, and I can get you know very easily sidetracked and just overwhelmed. Like, so I wanted to do. I don't know if you're familiar with the quote unquote autistic vocal stim compilation meme thing. I don't think that's probably the correct use of the term autistic, so hopefully it's not offensive. But basically, it's these compilations of, I guess clips that people find very vocally interesting or compelling or whatnot, and that they might quote very frequently to their friends or whatever. And so I wanted to make one of my own because I have all this stupid stuff that I say around the house, or just like, you know, for no reason, I will just feel the need to express this particular silly thing. And so I've been working on that for like over a month. But if I don't immediately write it down, or even just make like a little voice note to myself, then I will forget it in like 5 seconds. I'm like a goldfish. I have like I know they're not literally like that, but I have 5 seconds from when I think of it to write it down or something, and then or otherwise it's just gone. And I've like thought of the same thing 6 times, and it took me a month to actually like write it down and remember it to actually get it on the list of notes that I have to make it into a video one day. This is why I have to like listen to debates and take notes, like why I had to do that fucking spreadsheet, like literally, because if I don't do that, then I don't remember shit. I have to go back constantly. But anyway, it's very useful for organization. So sorry, I said I do this all the time, especially because you know yourself well enough. I'll start thinking and then lose my train of thought. Exactly, right? Like because if you're like me, your mind just like keeps going and doesn't want to stay like in one place for too long, so to speak. And so it will like not want to be present, I guess, or fermé long enough for the thought to crystallize. And so it gets replaced like a buffer, just constantly getting swapped out with new stuff coming in. Sarah says a lot of the time you do this in order to keep your thoughts sorted, but also to debunk yourself, at least try to. If it's a conclusion, I start asking myself how I got there and how valid it is. Oh yeah, that makes sense a lot, especially in like a scientific context or a research context for sure. Let's see. I start breaking down every bit of myself. It's like having a conversation, but with myself, which is fun because arguing with myself is frustrating, but overwhelming because it's yourself. Yeah, of course, it's possible to be your best ally and your worst enemy at the same time sometimes. Like that's something that I have to be, I guess, like careful about as well, for lack of a better word, is that the same sort of skepticism that I apply to debates and stuff like that, part of the reason why I apply that to other people is because I hold myself to that same standard. So obviously this is me projecting my own values into other people, but like if I put out a video and it takes me like 4 months, 3 months or whatever to make it, because I'm like constantly second guessing myself, and I'm constantly like double checking, and then I'm going back, and then I'm doubting, and then I'm redoing, etc., and then even then I put it out and I doubt that it's accurate, and then somebody else just throws some stuff, like, not to imply that other people don't do effort or whatever, don't put in effort, but if somebody else puts something out there that's just like filled with so many misconceptions and misunderstandings or whatever, and it's like they're easy to clear up as well, they don't really require a lot of effort, I just like get personally very frustrated with that. Now granted, my personal frustration is not an argument or not like evidence of anything, right? But still, like, I can't help myself, because it's like, why are you being so lax with yourself? You know what I mean? Like, I can't relate to the idea of not scrutinizing yourself more. But also, because I scrutinize myself so much sometimes, like, it's very difficult to get anything done, right? I will never be able to just, generate content as fast because I ruminate on it too fucking much. And even with like whether it was like the initial streams here or just like talking to people at work, it's very difficult for me to, like, I'm constantly trying to play things out in my head before I say them, and like self-edit it, whatever, and then I worry, oh, did I say this the right way? Could have expressed this better, right? And so sometimes it's just exhausting. Sometimes like that internal monologue, I'm like, whatever the opposite of like living rent-free in my head is, it's like you're charging me, well, no, it feels like my tenant that was paying me rent before now is like a squatter who took over my entire fucking house. The house being my brain in this analogy, and I'm just like, God, will you shut the fuck up and just let me exist for a minute? You know, like not everything has to be this massive like performance art. I just kind of want to have a thought without feeling like I have to earn it every single time. You know, so I'm sure you can probably relate to some of that. Excuse me. Oh yeah, sorry. It says it helps me to like exercise my brain a bit. It's how I go about my Zelda theorizing when it comes to carry stuff. It's how I work there as well, because my brain forces your brain forces you to. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And sometimes it's like, you know, you don't want to lose the important and valuable thoughts when they come across to you, but you also want to make sure that you give yourself some breathing room and like maintain your sanity to a certain extent, at least, right? Um, Sorry, it says anyone can interpret a story, but why did the author make it this way? Oh no, sorry, you're not you're not allowed to think that way. Death of the author, buddy. Death of the author. Obviously, I'm joking, right? But no, it's important to try to understand that as well. Sorry, it says so. Start doing or going to interviews and finding things to try, and listening to things in extra details, and trying to listen to things and to read extra details or find things that inspire the story, the media, or subject I'm examining to get myself deep into the rabbit hole. Yeah, and that's that's an extremely valuable endeavor. But of course, you know, if you want to hear all the various different sides of the story, sometimes that involves quite a lot of, you know, research and evaluation, and like if the author's opinions have changed over time or whatever, you know, it is a whole other layer to trying to undergo that understanding, if that makes sense. Ah, damn, that sucked. But I think, like, it's not necessary to have that level of dedication for everything to get the most out of it, but at the same time, it can only help, right? Like, if you genuinely want to, like, truly and deeply understand something, it's better if you can try to approach it in that way. I feel like maybe I'm just saying what my experience is of the Naruto stuff in general, but I do feel like there's kind of a bit of anti-intellectualism that comes with like like if you invest too much time, you're like accused of caring too much. Like there's only so much effort that you're allowed to put into something before it becomes lame. You're just supposed to think people are encouraged to kind of have like a baseline, you know, maximal level of input, of investment emotionally and in terms of time or whatever. Like the less you care and the less effort you put into something when you succeed, then the more impressive it is. Like I really can't stand that mentality. But you know, when I was a kid, some of the attitude or the mentality, like in my school, for example, was that everybody basically has like a level of like innate skill and innate ability. And so if you had somebody who was quote unquote stupid, right? Like, not that that term's even really valid, but somebody who was just not particularly bright, not particularly gifted, and they worked their ass off, you know, to really do super well at like exceeding at a test or something, and like or like they worked really hard in a class where they had a disadvantage and they were like the weakest starting stats or whatever in that class, and then they got the best grades in the whole class. Then like the response from the people in the school, like the teachers and stuff, administrators, wouldn't be, oh my god, like you did an amazing job, you worked so hard, like that's amazing, you overcame the disadvantage and you did so much better, and like that's incredible. They'd be like, oh, you're just overachieving, you know, like you somehow managed to like do okay this time, but that's not really, you're not really performing at the level that anybody really expects you to. And it's like really weird, right? Like you would figure that somebody who with a disadvantage who does better than people with an advantage would be praised even more for overcoming that and for doing so. I guess it's like, to bring it back to Naruto, because I have a one-track mind, like Sasuke versus Lee kind of thing, you know. Isn't it even more impressive that Lee gets as far as he does against people like Gaara when he doesn't have like any ninjutsu? Oh no, you're always gonna be an underachiever, you'll never accomplish anything. Like, fuck you, shut the fuck up. Like, I hate that shit. And I'm a privileged, spoiled little brat in that I was told when I was a kid, whether or not this is actually true, I was told that I was like gifted in certain ways. That, oh, you have like this, you get really high scores in this thing, or you'd probably be really good at that thing, right? But like, that doesn't mean that I did better than anybody else. It certainly doesn't mean I was better than anybody else just because like some test or whatever said I had an aptitude for it. I had plenty of people who supposedly had less aptitude, but who could, you know, see things in a different light than I could, or who just worked their fucking asses off and would always do better than me. And I was really impressed. Like, I was never impressed by somebody who like just got lucky and got like a good starting role on their stats or whatever, compared to somebody who really cared and worked and put themselves out there. So I don't know. Hard work and dedication to me is always going to be more impressive than natural talent in terms of personality, in terms of like us hanging out. Natural talent is great as well. It's wonderful if you're gifted and you're lucky enough to have a certain talent or something like that. That's wonderful, and you should use that and feel proud of that. It's not something to be ashamed of either. But I grew up in a culture that I found pretty toxic, where unless you had talent that was natural, your accomplishments were always undervalued, and you were treated like an imposter because you're not supposed to be doing this well because you weren't born into it. It's like, fuck you. What's wrong with you? Anyway. Sorry, I said, says anyone can, yeah, oh yeah, or find things that inspired the story or the media subject I'm examining to get myself deep into the rabbit hole. Yeah, and like that can just expose you to more knowledge and more understanding, and just like a greater sense of like more forms of media that you'd enjoy as well. It keeps on branching out. Can only be a positive thing, I think. This is intriguing.
C'est ici qu'elle peignait autrefois. Et qu'elle créait.
Oui.
Enfin un défi digne de ce nom.
I don't expect you to answer this because I don't really want it spoiled anyway. But I saw a screenshot, which is, I guess, a little bit of a spoiler, unfortunately. But I couldn't really tell what it was, so I guess it's not really a spoiler. Oh, 1 second. Choose your trial. Okay, 1 sec. But Alicia, I must say, you surprised me. I didn't expect you and your friends to succeed. Oh, gee, thanks. I certainly didn't expect the doppelganger to pull you into his schemes. He was supposed to keep an eye on you, not recruit you. He did well. Also, just for Renoir to clean up the canvas. You said don't be emotional. This is necessary. It's not necessary. Fuck you. Let's bring that drivel. How much this canvas means to you. I've spent far more time here than you. That doesn't mean anything. Time doesn't mean investment. I painted half this world with Verso. We went on adventures here while you sat reading in your room. Good for you. I was perfectly fine leaving Maman here to work out her sorrows, and if you insist on staying too, well, that's your choice, but Renoir will not stand for it, and I need him to help me with the real conflict outside, not waste more of his time in here. Oh, I see. Okay, well, I can kick him out. You can have him back. I don't we still fucking need him here. Go try to repeating yourself. Renoir will do what needs to be done. Why don't we have some fun instead? Okay. I'll show you what you missed out on all those years hiding in your room. It's a game Verso and I used to play. I sketched some figures, doodles really. I believe your friends called them Nevrons. It's a creative name, I like it. Verso and I named this challenge the Gauntlet. Okay, survive them all. I skipped the dialogue, I'm sorry. Alright, the Gauntlet lies within its canvas. Don't worry, death in there isn't final. Every canvas has its own rules, and I find death a boring outcome. That's fair. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't like you very much. You have a shitty attitude, but I'll play your game. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, beautiful. But yeah, so I think I did see a screenshot of something that looked very vaguely like guts, or Artorias with a massive sword, and the character's name apparently was Simon or Simo, I'm guessing. Um, and I have been dying to know, because it looked like a really serious boss fight, but there's been no mention of a Simon whatsoever, except in the journal, right? There's a couple of entries missing, Julie and Simon. Who the fuck are Julie and Simon? They haven't even been mentioned once, as far as I know. But apparently he's a big deal, so I want to know what the fuck is going on with that for sure. So I'm just exploring. Oh shit, hi. Wasn't expecting that to escalate so fucking quickly. I love the pun, duelists. Oh, holy shit, this is gonna be a whole thing, huh? Oh my god. Oh my god. Every time I thought it was done. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this tonight, man. Like, I'm too out of it to be able to parry all this stuff. Oh, this is the thing I saw, though, that somebody did, like, a challenge where they parried, like, every single duelist attack. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna maybe not tackle this first. I'm gonna see what's elsewhere. Sorry, I said I only ever excelled in science and reading and language arts. We didn't have phonetic for the short times since I was schooled in France. It was a struggle there, but your biggest complaint was math. You did this wrong. How did I do it wrong? I got the right answers. You're supposed to do it this way. Oh, yeah, it's the, like, you know, it's not just, like, I understand you need to show your work and understand how to do the thing in principle, but, you know, actually getting the work done and finding your own way to do things is valuable as well. Answers marked wrong until I did things I was, yeah, that kind of sucks. Well, to be fair, I don't know who he is. I don't know where he is. I don't know anything about him. All I know is that there is a character called Simon, somewhere in the game, and that he looks like he's gonna kick my ass off, and then wait till it gets reattached just so he can kick it off again. So I wouldn't even say it's like a spoiler, really. It's just like something I'm gonna have to deal with at some point. But I'm like, I can't believe that they clearly held something so like massive, like that far late into the game, you know? Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be effective at all in dealing with these high-level bosses tonight, but I want to at least explore and see what's out here. Oh, yeah, and I can continue playing the game on my own. Sorry if you think I'm at that point where I should. I just didn't want to, like, miss out on anything. Yeah, I can't fucking do this. Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm not doing this tonight. Maybe I'll try, like, the other challenges for now. I think I'm gonna need to like optimize my build more before I can deal with this. I mean, like, look at this shit. Oh my god, yeah. I can't even follow what's happening. Every time I think this game just like threw the hardest possible thing at me, then it just like kicks my ass and tells me I'm a little baby, that I haven't understood anything. Maybe I'll try to do the lighthouse snake leafy sea dragon thing tonight. Can I ask you, again, you don't have to answer if it's a spoiler, but if I go back to Lumiere now, is that going to, like, trigger the end of the game, basically? Like, once I go there, I kind of have to be ready to push through to the credits, right? If so, I really, that's the other thing too, is like every game that I've ever played, I think I mentioned it before, like I just wind up rushing through so quickly. I really just, I love the fact that I've been spending so much time on this, like just really taking my time on this game and enjoying it over a long period of time. I don't regret that at all. Pretty much, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll wait, I'll take my time. I mean, like, this is pretty easy. This is a whole lot more my speed for this evening. Oh, here's a duelist. Yeah, I can deal with this probably. And as much as I haven't been enjoying this, like, spam fucker, Verso build, I could probably do better just in terms of raw damage if I'm going up against these, like, super fucker bosses. But, I don't know, this is still pretty good. Okay, that wasn't bad. Sorry, I said also I just wanted to see your blind reaction to him, but now you know what I meant when you first started playing. I said the devs of this game really like Dark Souls. Simon was that thing. I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, like, I guarantee you when I actually see him in context in the environment and, like, learn what the hell he is, like, I'm gonna be impressed. I've been so thoroughly impressed by everything else in this game, I can only imagine, you know? And honestly, given that it's been, like, this game came out, like, almost a year ago, right? Like, I'm just happy I managed to survive this long with this few spoilers. Like, I had a character name spoiled for me that's really not the end of the world considering other things. Like, I don't want to say it out, like, specifically in case anybody hasn't played it yet or whatever, but I had the identity of the dragon in Tears of the Kingdom spoiled for me. You know, like the big important plot related dragon thing. Yeah, that got spoiled for me immediately. And that would have been, like, if anything in that game, based on what I've heard about it, would have been the thing to really hook me in and, like, be like, oh my god, that was so cool. It would have been that reveal, as well as, like, the reveal of the underground. But both of those things got spoiled for me in, like, a Donkey video or something. Maybe it wasn't Donkey specifically, but it was something like that. It was just some random YouTube video that I pulled up, and they were just like, hey, by the way, this dragon is this, and I found out about that after I went to this specific place that was like, fuck you, oh my god, why would you do that? It's so annoying. Anyway. Ooh, got another foot. Okay. Do you have anything to say for yourself, lady over here? Play, don't really care, stop waiting for someone to... Jeez, I hate... You're such a smarmy little smarm basket. What's your problem? Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze 1 second. Probably not gonna be a super hardcore stream tonight. The visual effects on some of these attacks are just legendary. My Pictos are getting upgraded, that's nice. You choked on water after reading a notification because it was Life Nerf Lucky 2 and it was a Mario Kart clip failing a shortcut. Oh god, yeah. Have you played Mario Kart World? Have we talked about that? Reduce AP costs for each attack parry can break, right? I still haven't played, like, any Switch 2 games. Oh my god, I forgot about that shit. Oh, I got one of them. Okay. Wonderful. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Thank you very much. I feel blessed. So blessed. What is the French thing that you're supposed to say as opposed to bless you? Like, what's, you know, it's Gesundheit in German. What's the French equivalent? I don't think I ever learned it. I should leave this for Bill, so what am I doing? Ah, fuck's sake, okay. whatever. Can you not break it? Break it. Okay. Weird. This thing, that thing is creepy. What the hell? It's like fucking Midra or something. Have I fought one of those things before? It's really unsettling. What is that thing? I don't know why that thing is like really creeping me out. Okay, well it's gone now. Okay. Yeah, it was really weird. I don't know why. It just like, my brain was like, that thing is wrong. Kill it now. One second. Okay, you brought Mario Kart World for the swimsuit, Daisy, and you're not ashamed to admit it. Okay, you're not gonna get any judgment from me. I bought the Drakengard 3 DLC pretty much because, I think 2 is like a perfect 10. So I just wanted to be like, yeah, I'll see more content with this person. Actually, by perfect 10, let me clarify that I mean, like, overall, I really like her aesthetic and character design, and I think she's, at the time, like, I thought she was cute, but, I mean, like, that comes with a caveat, is that, like, I don't know, I played it when I was younger, I don't know what her canonical age is, so I'm like, now I'm like, well, shit, like, I want to be careful about that, because I don't, like we talked about with the fucking, what do you call it? Obviously, it's a different case, but with Pragmata, you know, like, I am very skeptical towards the way that female characters are depicted in games sometimes, so just want to avoid being weird about that. But yeah, I really liked her character design, and I find that in actual human people that I am attracted to, that kind of aesthetic is like very appealing to me. I think that's probably the best way to put it. I think the fact that she was like a semi-psychotic like bringer of the apocalypse, arguably a deal breaker in terms of a relationship, arguably, but not certainly. À tes souhaits, à tes amours, à tes santé. Oh, clève. Oh, what's clève? What does clève mean? That's interesting. I need to stop doing that. Oh, actually, let me do this, though. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Clève kind of sounds like crepa, which in Italian is like, it means like die, but it's specifically like almost a taunting way to say die. Like, it's something like an anime character would say to another character as they attack them. Like Vegeta in the Italian manga would be like, big bang attack, crepa, stronzo, you know, it'd be like, or it's like, you know, if you go into a tavern in the Witcher game in Italian or something like that, you'll probably hear like a character be like, oh, somebody died of the plague, and they'll be like, oh yeah, è crepato dalla peste, right? Like, they died of plague. You would use it in sort of that like colloquial context, or casual context, or something like that. It's not a very professional way or refined way to say it, I guess you could say. Since the challenges are ramping up just a little bit. But I mean, my L still exists, so it's like, you know. Maybe I should try doing literally anything else. was kind of cool.
Frayons-nous un chemin.
Not as cool as my stupid, annoying spam build. But still pretty cool.
Que choisir? Tiens-toi prêt, Loco.
Nice. Yeah, I swear the counters are like the best
Ça, c'est l'amour.
things in this game in terms of just like consistent damage.
Ça, c'est de l'amour.
Nice. Yeah, I understand that some people play this game without actually what do you call it? Remove self shields. Do I not have the breaking rules? No. I should keep that in reserve. Let's do this actually. No, basta. I made a mistake. No, I made another mistake. That was bad. Can break. No, I messed that up completely. Oh well.
Frayons-nous un chemin.
That was really bad. That's fine. I'll figure it out. I totally lost my train of thought. See, this is what I'm saying. If I don't get the thoughts out like immediately,
On en finit.
pretty much that's exactly how it goes after your third sneeze. You're no longer blessed, you just die. Yeah, exactly. It makes sense. It's like, I'm sure you've heard the expression break a leg, for like when you're about to perform on stage or something like that. Man, that is so lame. I feel like I'm doing something wrong there. Like, how is it that there's one skill that is just so much better than everything else, you know what I mean?
Attention, ça va.
Monaco slap.exe has executed successfully. Actually, I should probably go save first. It's been a little while, or like rest. Excuse me. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, stage 3. Oh, was this the last one? Oh, interesting. Go blue of all the things to bring back. It's very interesting, actually. No, thank you. Goodbye.
À ton tour de danser.
Damn, that's still so hard to accurately predict. I don't know why. My build variety is not really a thing. I am very fixated when it comes to the way that I execute things, but it seems to be effective, so I'm happy to just kind of keep going with that way. Wait, do I have a thing that extends? Yeah, can reapply stun. Okay, let me bring it on this guy. Honestly, a little bit of overkill, but that's fine.
Choisir.
Alright, so let's see. Got green. Put the barrier on you.
Ça va saigner.
Okay. And now Agile. Oh my god, have you played Death Stranding 1? The part of that game that literally took years off my life was fucking Fragile. Like every time she's like, I'm fragile, but I'm not that fragile. And then the next time she'll be like, I'm fragile, but I'm not that fragile. Like, oh my god, like the Kojima and his fucking puns, I swear to god. Maybe it's a cultural thing. I will never understand what he was going for there. And then people were trying to be like Death Stranding 2 Lost to Clair Obscur, because I think we talked about this in chat, right? But like there were certain people, known as fucking cave gremlins, who were saying that like the reason why Clair Obscur won and Death Stranding 2 lost is because Kojima surrendered to the DEI agenda by putting in like a bald black character, a bald black lady in his game. And then okay, I know what that means. I know what that one means. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I know what that one means. But yeah, so like Kojima like was surrendering to the DEI agenda by putting like one bald black lady in his game, but this game was more successful because it has traditionally attractive women in it, like Mael, which is like a really like fucked up on a few different levels. But yeah, maybe Kojima just didn't make as good of a game, and maybe if you're looking at Mael and saying this is a woman that should be the standard of beauty for women, maybe you need to go to jail. Just saying. Why can't we just have nice things? Why can't we all just get along? Is that too much to ask? It occurs to me that these things make a very similar sound to the mimes. Oh yeah, then when they realized that Lune is an Asian living in France, yeah. It's when they realized that this game was made in France and that France isn't America. Oh, but it's okay because it's like white Europeans or whatever, right? Like, even though we were at odds with one another, it's like a former imperialist nation, so blah blah blah. I don't even want to get into it, man. It's just so depressing. But yeah, I don't know. We live in an era where we have access to, like, I mean, Clair Obscur isn't like the game that's the most technically impressive from a graphical standpoint, you know, and it leverages tech that is pretty well established and well known in the form of like Unreal Engine or whatever. Playing a game like this game has incredible artistry and makes exceptional use of the technology that it has, but like seeing you know, an Unreal particle effect in this game just doesn't hit the same way that like seeing the orca whale break through it's not really a whale, but you know, the orca break through the boardwalk in that level, in the first level in Sonic Adventure for the first time, right? Like when that shit came out, I remember like people at my school or whatnot being like, okay, this is it. This is as good as graphics are ever going to get. They're never going to get better than this. We've achieved the pinnacle of realism. And like, we couldn't believe it. Like, we thought it was like some kind of a joke, right? And now we live in an era where this stuff is basically trivial. Like, not it's not actually trivial, but like those fire effects that we're seeing on the Bouchon right now, you know, I guarantee you that within like 2 to 4 hours you could download the Unreal Engine even if you never used it before, and like look up a tutorial on how to do a fire effect, and you could make something like that. Now, I'm not saying that they did a shitty job or anything, but like this particular fire effect, just getting like a fire decal to spawn in the game on random locations is pretty easy, and there's so many tutorials out there that we can just do it like almost trivially, you know what I mean? And it's so amazing to live in that era. And so I think, like, obviously this is not a scientific statement by any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes it feels to me like we almost go out of our way to just find stupid bullshit to be upset about and like fight with each other about, because things are so fucking good that we like forgot what it's like to not have, and I feel like I'm sounding like my my great grandpa who walked both ways up the hill in snow in the summer to get to school and was grateful for it. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, it's like, guys, could you just shut the fuck up and play video games? You have it better than any other. We have better toys than any generation in thousands of years of human history, and you can make them yourself and customize them and like share them with people. We live in an age where you can have a career and become a millionaire, like one of the, was that the last trial, like probably one of the richest people in the world, like Mr. Beast, right? Like got to where he is by playing video games and yelling at his computer, right? Like Markiplier as well. And like all of these people who became literal millionaires by yelling at their computer while playing games. PewDiePie is another example. He just said like cunt and then other words in Swedish while playing Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever scary games he was playing, and then he became a fucking millionaire, like multi-millionaire, like disgustingly wealthy. Just like, what do any of us have to complain about? What are you guys even talking about? Oh, they made like the fucking the bra on the character in Stellar Blade. They like gave it more fabric, so the entirety of our civilization is being corrupted and free speech is being limited. Shut the fuck up. Like, oh my god, it's like we have like former game developers like Grums or whatever his stupid username is, like seriously out here being like, you know, I as a game developer am here to tell you how how things are being taken away from you, and like, you haven't done anything, you haven't contributed anything, and now you're wasting your time just like making up bullshit like this when you could just be playing games and enjoying things. Like, can you just like, we all just fucking forgot how to have fun when there's more fun available to us than any other time in human history. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, this is my soapbox for the evening. My vaccine addled brain. Vaccinated on so many levels. This is a minor detail, but I kind of wish that if the duelist swords are going to be different colors, then maybe Verso's little left-hand dagger should also be the other color, because I think he's using the Dualiso weapon. It would be kind of nice if oh, maybe the color is like visible in the effect attached to it. Maybe I'm being too much. You don't want to get along. You want to turn people into dinosaurs. Well, with the power of science, anything is possible. I genuinely believe this. Except for me picking the right fucking attacks, clearly. Jesus, I gotta pay more attention. These things are actually fucking nightmare fuel. This thing is actually frightening me. I don't... What an awesome creature design. I guess we just missed these on the outside world. Like, I don't remember seeing these before, but they're actually, like... really scary to me for some reason. Something about their design is just like really fucking with my head in a good way. Orion, Ursa Major, and Cassiopeia can be seen in every 3D Zelda. Really? That's interesting. I wonder why that is. I wonder if they had a specific reason for that. Your girlfriend is playing Wind Waker and she started geeking out about how you could see constellations in the sky, and I'm shocked she didn't notice that until now, but this is a normal thing. Yeah, do you think that they modeled the skybox, like, I wonder what the decision was. Do you know, are there any astronomical bodies in the Zelda series that are, like, unique to that series? You know what I mean? Is there, like, are there constellations that are Zelda-specific constellations or whatever? I don't know if that made sense. I feel like I should be playing with CL more, but I really feel like I fucked up her build. So I have to go back and, like, retry it again. I'll wait for this stuff. Don't want to mess with this right now. Although Monaco's almost done. His whole skill thing is almost finished. Look, he's only got one left. Oh, well, whatever this is, too. I should use Sanctuary more. Hang on a second. I should at least take a look at what new skills he's picked up with his new feat. Let's see. So let's look. Can I not sort by color element? No. Okay, I really wish I could sort by color, but okay, let's look at red. So, deals fire damage. Okay, keeping in mind that I'm keeping him as a support. Physical damage, deals high ice damage to all enemies, applies slow to the targets. Okay, as opposed to enfeeble, which deals powerless. I think probably ice is to all targets is better. Let's see for green. Well, let's see what else we have. We have Galt Fury. Yeah, Mark. Fire damage. Don't think we have all that many. Can break. Okay. Oh, we got a couple more things over here. Applies powerful and gives 3 AP to the targets. Potia energy gives 1 to 3 AP to all allies. Gives an additional. Well, this is like, you compare these two things, this is obviously better. But the thing is with Troubadour Trumpet, it's like I'm not gonna get powerful every single time, but I'm more than happy to have the randomized benefit. Applies powerful to all allies, deals medium earth damage to all enemies. What do I have here? Yeah, I want the shields more. Luster Slices applies rush to self, but I want more for other people. So let's see what other stuff do we have. Break bar. Any new things? Physical damage mark. Okay, so we didn't get all that much stuff here. It's fine. I won't spend too much time here. Suck up a Tut Fire might be better. I think this is probably better than the other. Obscure Sword. Deals more dark. Hang on. This is green. High single target dark damage. 5 hits. Deals more damage against. Oh, so it doesn't actually apply. Okay, gotcha. Defenseless to the target. So it's defenseless versus shields. Lightning damage. Just kind of going through the different options here. The mortar. Change to Almighty Mask if target is marked, but I don't really need to do that. Applies powerless to target. Okay. I'm kind of interested in seeing how that goes. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry, this is not that you're aware of. As far as the fandom is aware, Zelda takes place on our Earth and our solar system, which is kind of cool for me because it makes me want to keep it at nighttime to look at the stars. So that's really nice, yeah. I'm sure that helps with like feeling like you can project yourself into the world as well, ne? Or for immersion. I don't think I've seen this thing before either. Oh wait, no, I remember the blight mechanic now, actually, come to think of it. Actually, let me do this, one sec. I love that we're getting this music back too, I really like this track. Honestly, this is a great opportunity to just like farm up feet, which is a phrase I never thought I would say out loud, but there you have it. This game is really exposing me to all sorts of wonderful new things like foot farming. Thank you, Sandfall, for teaching me the sacred, venerated art of foot farming. Appreciate you. Love you. Glad you're out here doing your thing. I like this arena too. I hadn't really been paying much attention to that. Okay, let's see. Applies a random buff, applies a second random buff. Let's just do that. Yeah, nice. Okay. Now we're in red mask and applies slow. Okay, yeah. That's fine. I probably should have done break, but that's okay. Just take the slow. So she can actually break, but only with one of her attacks. I wish she had more break options, but that's okay. I could probably just end this now by doing this. Sorry, I am curious. Like, I've come to realize after a little while that, like, obviously there's actually kind of a lot of storytelling that's, like, very obvious storytelling that's happening in the, how do you say, in the songs, like if you look up what the lyrics are saying, there's quite a bit that's revealed, to the point where it's like maybe arguably slightly spoilery in certain cases. Like I didn't real if I'm hope I'm getting the language right, but I think I didn't realize it, but I think in the track that plays in the like overworld, it contains the line Renoir déchiré convent, right, or something like that, which means Renoir is gonna rip apart the canvas. So it's like that's kind of a big thing to just leave there for people. I wonder if the French game playing community has like figured out the reveals and stuff more easily than the English playing community, so to speak. I still really like, I know what's going on, but also I kind of don't. So, but I'm waiting until I've actually finished the game before I look into anything. There was a time when the fandom used to believe Zelda Earth was flat. Oh dear. I wish I were kidding, but Wind Waker Wii U deconfirmed that with the art of Wind Waker HD being Link on a globe. That's interesting. I mean, there's I guess there's nothing inherently stopping the world from them from making a flat Earth in their world if they want. I mean, it's a fantasy, just like flat Earth in our world. So, sorry, it says I wouldn't say it's spoilery because the things it's talking about you don't have context for or understand until much later. But that's fair. So it's more like an Easter egg or something that you get context for, that you earn later. That makes sense. Okay, so I wanted to see. I think, yeah, you're already maxed out. Are you already maxed out with yours, buddy? Nusaro? Almost. Oh, not almost. Upgraded skills do 30% plus 1 APM max change. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. Okay, I can upgrade your stuff more later. Actually, I think we're fine. Dualisa's already... Okay, yeah, so don't worry about that stuff later. Expedition resources. Oh, I've got 70 of these. Okay. So, I think... Let's get... I want to get the core trio up to 200 for sure. And then I think... At this point, I think probably I should just focus on, like, maximizing these 3 characters. Because I could start to put them into others, but I think that's not going to give me the returns that I want. Anyway. Zarya says, hello to the 8 lurkers. I have stolen all the points. Are there 8 lurkers in chat or in the stream? Well, welcome everybody. Sorry, you happen to have joined at a night where I am relatively subdued. I have a little bit of a cold, so to speak, tonight, but I really appreciate you stopping by and checking out the stream. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a wonderful new year. As you can see, we are pretty deep into this game. I'm absolutely loving it, and it's fast becoming, or it has become, sorry, one of my favorite games of all time. We were talking before about like the performance during the Game Awards and all that. I think the rewards are thoroughly deserved, and I've really genuinely been enjoying seeing all that this game has to offer. As you will see, my builds are not particularly optimized, partially because I am not like I don't want to spend too much time going on stream tonight going like, should I do this one or maybe this one or whatnot. So I'm gonna do some build optimization off stream, I think, especially with this like final gauntlet of things that we're gonna have to confront. Oh, this is fucking great. Yeah, I'm glad I picked up that. You know, leading towards the end of the game and the super bosses and all that. I definitely want to do a little bit of tweaking off stream. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with us this evening. I hope you're doing well. Excuse me.
Attention.
Let's see how well this goes. Oh shit. I get distracted by the chat message. I do like the fact that some of these characters have their own like unique whatchamacallit, their own unique like tells for their attacks. Like the there's always a little bit of a like a little incoming sound effect to give you a clue as to when you should be parrying. And I think some of the characters have a slightly different sound, which is kind of cool. Or it might just be getting buried under their other like attack sounds, but I don't think so. Oh, that's not doing anything. Sorry, said I thought you were gonna say it's fast becoming my favorite game, and I was like, John, you're already literally in the end game. Yeah, I know. Well, because I got so used to saying that like for so many streams, because it was like, it's true. It became one of my favorite games very, very fast. But yes, that is in the past. It's like I can't believe how much time has already passed since we started this. It's been a whole journey, right? Okay, let's see if I can actually deal with this. Clearly not. Actually, that wasn't too bad. Oh my god, that really hurt. But Monaco doesn't care though. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, when I played my like I tried to do a run on like a second run of the game, and in doing so, only parry. So like any damage that I was doing. Wait, shit, I need to pay attention. Yeah, one second. Okay. Yeah. So like, for whatever reason, this particular character, the chromatic troubadour, was the most difficult. So I was doing a run where I was trying to specifically only do damage when I was parrying. So like I would not do any like normal attacks, so to speak. I would not use any abilities. I would only just focus on parrying and doing counter damage. And for some reason, I don't know why, the chromatic troubadour was the thing that like ended me. I just couldn't deal with it. It's not even like its attacks aren't even that like crazy to deal with, honestly. Okay, so now hang on a second. The follow-up is, I think the light damage doesn't work on the aberration, right? Guess we'll find out. Oh no, it does. Okay. I don't know why I thought that. Wow. Goddamn. Sorry, says I pray for you when you meet Simon, and I'm not even religious. That's fair. Why? Because is he just like oh god damn it, I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. In terms of the yeah, let's do this obviously. In terms of the intensity of like the parrying and all that. There we go. I almost got thrown off by that timing, but I managed to pull it off. Stop that. Stop getting better. Okay. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get her straight into a Stendhal. Is it, am I saying that right? Is it Stendhal? Or am I just like putting in an unnecessary H there? I don't know why I started doing that. Yeah, I can't wait, honestly. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing, because I feel like we're almost at the max level, right? Relatively speaking, we're like 85 on average, and I think it goes up to 99. Like, we're nearing the 100th hour of gameplay, and yet I still feel like this game has a ton to offer, even before you get to like the challenge mode. So oh my god, that combo is really tricky. But I have a monocle, so let's see. Do I have... what should I do here? I think I'll just go with my trumpet, or... no, I'll go with my barrier. Yeah. Makes sense. That combo is so tricky. I love the design of that character though, like, and how it's reflected in the different forms of attacks as well. Like the duality of it is beautiful. Nice monocle, good job. Let's see. I guess we can just do this again. I feel a little bad for continually like relying on the same thing. You know, I should be doing fire damage, especially since I just got that new Picto, but I'll fix that next turn. Okay, here we go. It is so cathartic to just be able to do that. Now, let's see, do I have enough? I think I'll have enough if I go for the S. Yes, perfect, okay. Getting it close there. Okay. It's so satisfying. Ooh, that was really close. That almost felt like a free free wave there. Okay. Sorry, it says basically think about it like this right now in this segment of the game. The devs are smoking grass when you meet Simon. They'll be on crack. Oh no, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Does that include the duo lists that I just went up against and get like steamrolled by? Or do you specifically mean these trials? Because these trials aren't all that bad, like especially considering the Lamp Master boss that took me like 40 minutes. Like this is not bad at all. I'm performing poorly overall, but like the boss does not feel unfair or anything. The tell on that's really hard to read though, I will say. Oh, cool. Versus commentary. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, that's the right one. Oh, damn, I should have done that before. I still have 9 revives, oh my god. Yeah, see, I don't feel like super pressured by this fight. Okay. Should I do payback? No. I kind of want to mix things up. Let's try Gustav so much. Oh, shit, I missed the last one. You know, I feel like that would actually be a almost like a better attack for Verso to have. Like obviously thematically, narratively, it makes more sense for that attack to be assigned to Mael, but can you imagine like the build-up of perfection that you would get out of doing that attack with Verso? It'd be amazing. There we go. Nice. Simon is like in another league. You'll feel like you entered another difficulty setting. Remember Clair? Oh, okay. Honestly, I'm looking forward to it, but now also like kind of dreading it. 20% chance of a gradient charge on critical hit. That's really good too. I feel like I should delve more into like a crit build for one of the characters. I wish there was just like an extremely rare item, like maybe just one or two, that would let me respect my Lumina, because I mean, like, I also respect the fact that they don't do it. Like, it kind of reminds me of Diablo 2, like having your stat point allocation be this permanent thing. It adds like a lot of weight and consideration to it, but at the same time, like, just give me one, because I want to go back and mess with like CL and Loon a little bit more, but I don't feel like I can really, like, I feel like I've already kind of, you know, made the mistake, and the Luminas are just so important that I don't know if I can like recover from it at this point. Shit, I gotta get better at timing that second hit. Not bad, worse, but worse isn't really fucking strong. I have to do my camps. Oh, that's right, I gotta do the camp dialogues too. Yeah, I'll finish up this little gauntlet over here and then I'll do that. Hope I didn't inadvertently miss out on some of the dialogues, but honestly that would be a good thing to do tonight in particular, since my energy is a little bit low. Shaboom! Nice, okay. Almost ended it. Nice. Thank you for the reminder, by the way. Sorry. Okay. see. Ooh, that's an interesting design. Have we seen that design before with the wings kind of segmented like that? That's very, very cool. I also think, like, I personally really like, you know, the, like, gauntlets and arenas and stuff. So I really like this quite a bit. Oh, that got lucky. I feel like I was too late there. I feel like I should have gotten hit by that. Yeah, there we go. Not that I'm complaining, really, but... Okay, let's go here.
Amusons-nous.
Can I hit this? No. Oh wait, is it like... Do they activate and deactivate like that other guy? No, I don't think so. Okay, we'll just keep going. Nice, yeah, okay. The cadence of this is feeling really good these days. The reminder, he says, as I remember, like an hour into the stream, we're up to 10 viewers. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys stopping by, genuinely. Thank you so much. It's funny to me, of all nights, like, that I have, like, 10 people in chat. I'm like, hey, everybody, just warning you, I'm basically a zombie tonight. But, no, I really do appreciate it. Yeah, let's, I don't mind if the reminder, so to speak, is coming a little later. Sorry, I just appreciate that you're, I appreciate the reminder because I'm liable to kind of focus on whatever is, like, happens to be right in front of me, you know? And there happens to be a gauntlet in front of me, like a massive fucking tower. So, let's see. Monaco, get out of the way. I can't see the attacks. Okay. I can't see. That's actually... One sec. Ah, shit. That's actually kind of funny. Like, it's a little bit frustrating because, you know, obviously I couldn't quite see the attacks as they were coming in. But at the same time, like, I like the idea of there's a certain amount of, like, maybe unintentional, maybe surprise humor, so to speak, that's involved in, like, Monaco with his bulky pack just getting in the way so I can't see what the fuck is happening. But also, I think, like, the design of the creature with those, like, very, like, the shiny wings and everything kind of serving as, like, a fake out for the attack, like, that's very clever. Because every time I tried to parry, what I was really doing was responding specifically to the, what you call it, to the movement of that wing. And the real one that was going to actually do damage to me was in the follow-up. That was very smart on the part of the developers designing that creature. Did I give you a break, my friend? No. I should have broken with there, so that's okay though. I think for now, you know, I'm gonna do this. Let's give these guys some energy and make sure that they have enough to really just finish it up on the next turn. Should be good. Monaco should get more. Okay, here we go. Hang on. Okay. Ah, shit. Too early. Wow, he's doing the fucking Margit thing with his hammer, literally. Just like, okay, I gotta learn to wait until I see his hand raised up in the back. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I like the fact that a lot of the individual enemies have their own quirks too. Like, sometimes it can be frustrating when it doesn't work the way that you expect, I guess. But like, it's also just like, it makes sense, right? You have like these different like chromatic variations of different characters and whatnot. They would have behaviors, narratively, diegetically, or however you want to call it, that would be like aberrant in and of themselves, right? They would be weird, they would be erratic, they would be surprising. So, makes sense. Okay, let's try this again. See if I can actually see it again coming. No, okay, faked out again. Obviously, this is like a whole... This would probably be one of those features that's far more difficult to implement than you would think. But it would be a really nice quality of life improvement for the game, in my opinion, if they could end the animations like So if he has a 10 hit combo and it kills me on the first hit, I would like to, be spared the humiliation ritual of having this shit smacked out of me for the remaining 30 seconds of the of the animation. Like, yeah, I know, dog, you kicked my ass very well. I understand. You don't have to keep gloating about it, but it's okay. It's like, it's one of those things where you figure it would be a super easy thing to fix, but actually, like, depending on how it's implemented, it could actually be pretty risky. Oh, hi. Oh, this is cool. I'm really glad that they're bringing back this enemy type, because I think we've only fought 2 so far. Yeah, and honestly, like, one sec. Damn, okay, this is gonna be harder than I thought. So, like, this is one of those features as well, like this kind of mode, so to speak, like the boss rush or Coliseum Arena mode, that is also just a really smart decision in terms of, like, implementation and, like, value for time and effort invested. So all of these creatures existed in the game before to some extent. Like, obviously, like, chromatic variations, there might be, like, unique or novel interpretations of those characters or recolors or tweaks, but, like, the base archetypes for all those characters should still be present in the game from before. And you can design encounters that feel completely new, even if they're not literally completely new, by just mixing the characters up together, like putting them together in ways that you might have an encounter that was scrapped from elsewhere in the game that you now get a chance to implement here, or you put it in a different way that you hadn't. Oh, for fuck's sake, it was so stupid. You get to bring back bosses that you only got to experience once before. It's just like, you already have all the work done. You just need to kind of bring it back, reincorporate it, and retweak it a little bit. And you can leverage your existing, like, extant content to feel like new content without comparatively as much effort, right? Like, it's a really smart thing to put in a game, and I think most games would benefit from something of the sort, especially since a lot of people, I don't know if this would actually work for something like Dark Souls or Bloodborne or whatever. Well, I say that, but, like, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I was about to say, I don't know if it would work for something like your Dark Souls, like, from Software games, because the like, principle or conceit or whatever of a boss rush mode kind of breaks the immersion of the way that those games tend to approach building their world. Like, those meta features like that tend to be kind of I don't know, feel a little bit inelegant. I picked the wrong attack. I wasn't paying attention, but that's okay. But at the same time, like, they found a way of doing it diegetically for this game, right? Like, they found a way of saying, there we go. I should do more of that. They found a way of, like, actually putting the, whatchamacallit. So it's in fire stance now, so if I do ice, this will be fine. Yeah. Okay. Losing my train of thought here. What I'm trying to say is, like, so I'm gonna stop playing and actually talk for a second. So, my opinion is that, like, Dark Souls and games like that would benefit from a boss rush, but based on the way that, like, the systems are framed in those games, it could be considered, like, immersion breaking, or could be considered, like, a little out of the ordinary for those games, because then they would have to find some kind of they would want to find some kind of narrative or diegetic reason to justify why you're going back and fighting these things again. They managed to do it for Sekiro, and the way that they did that is having the idea that these battles were basically like memories, like essentially meditations that your character was projecting himself into, if I remember correctly, and challenging himself to, like, harder and harder versions of his own meditation, I think, as a form of internal training. But for like, obviously they can invent whatever narrative, quote unquote, excuse they want, So there's no reason why, like in Elden Ring, they couldn't. If in Night Rain they can bring in the fucking centipede demon and the Nameless King, there's no reason why they couldn't also do something along those lines of. Do I want to put Burning Canvas? No, because then it's gonna heal him next turn. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to save up the AP for next turn. Yeah, so there's no reason why they couldn't do something like that. And I mean, for this game, they literally made the boss rush mode have a diegetic justification in terms of going into the canvases, and they also made it so that these canvases, like, if you haven't already figured out that each canvas has its own rules and logic and stuff, then it reinforces that. So it's actually really smart. So it's not like they can't do something like that in the Dark Souls world. They already did it with Sekiro, but it is kind of hard to imagine how they would actually pull that off diegetically, narratively, like going back to Dark Souls 1. I don't know what the solution is. And I could see Miyazaki being like, I don't know, that feels a little too video gamey. But I don't know, it's like, it feels like such a smart decision, such a great way of leveraging existing work and breathing new life into it. Sorry says they should do it like Zelda. In Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the depths is bending space-time, so the bosses respawn down there, and it explains how the old heroes' tunics are down there as well. Oh yeah, that's great. That's a great idea. I think, like, personally, I highly value, like, maintaining the consistency of storytelling in the world, and so I think, at the end of the day, I'm going to always say, one sec. Wow. One second. There we go. Took me a second to get the rhythm of it. But yeah, in general, like, I'm always going to say, hey, what are the core design pillars of the game overall? Like, what is the most important part of the storytelling or part of the experience? And how do we make sure that we're adhering to that? And if that means that we don't get a feature because it, like, clashes with those core design sensibilities, I think that's a good quote-unquote sacrifice to make. Even though you don't get literally everything you want out of it, it's still, like, what you're getting is that thematic consistency, which is what makes the thing feel so special in the first place. So it's a net win, in my opinion. But if you can find a way to have the best of both worlds, like, why wouldn't you, right? And I think the fact that this game found a way to do it and pull it off successfully is just yet another example of why this game is as good as it is. And that's the thing that, like, it's really hard to explain, so I understand, especially that, like, given excuse me, given how many fucking awards this game won and how, like, unbalanced it seems, especially if you haven't played this game before. Like, I had the same response to Game of Thrones, to use a random example, right? Like, everybody was so crazy about it, everybody was losing their shit about it. They're like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever, and talking about all the incredible moments from the show and whatnot, and I hadn't seen it, and so I was like, what could possibly be so good about it? Like, I don't understand. Like, clearly this is just some, I don't know, I was edgy at the time, like, normie bias or whatever, or, like, I don't know. And I just kind of dismissed it because I couldn't conceive of, like, how it could possibly live up to that hype. But the thing that's so rewarding about this game in particular, and I just did the wrong attack again, didn't I? No, I did the right one. Okay, there we go. Is that, like, the more I think, some games when you play them, the more, like when you go through them the first time, they will kind of overwhelm you with very appealing things, and you'll have an amazing time. But then when you go back and actually examine them closely, it kind of falls apart a little bit and can be a little disappointing. So for me, as an example, Skyrim is kind of a masterpiece in its own right. It's kind of an incredible accomplishment. But I think the real value and mastery, whatever, of it comes from the fact that they have created this living, breathing world that just sort of draws you in an incredibly compelling way. But when you go and actually look at some things up close, they do kind of start to fall apart a little bit. 1 second. Gotta get better at that. Wow, okay. One example of that is the sorry, sorry, I said no, you're right, Game of Thrones is garbage compared to the books, and society should be ashamed for the pedestal they put that series on. Well, okay, but like I'm not going to say whether or not it compares favorably to the books. Based on what you've told me, it seems like the the books are definitely better. But my point was like, I was just excluding the idea that it could be good at all because of, wait 1 second, let me try. Is that the Chevalier? Okay. I was kind of excluding the idea that it could be like worth it at all because of the fact that people liked it. Then I had to do my like edgelord thing of being like, well, so it's just for normies and they're clearly like being like stupid about it or something. I don't know, nothing popular could possibly be cool. And then I watched it and I really liked it. And like, regardless of it's not as good as the books, or the later series falls apart, I think it's fair to say that the series also did a lot right, and there is a lot of good like redeeming qualities to it. Granted, it's not necessarily perfect, right, by any means, but at the same time, it's like you can find a lot of really compelling, really interesting performances. There's really good dialogue that is really well handled, great cinematography in certain scenes. The way that things are paced overall is very good, especially in seasons like 1 through 3. There's a lot of like the design of the conlangs, like the Dothraki language, for example, is really good. There's a lot of like great work that went into the costume design and stuff like that. Oh, whoops, 1 second. Oh shit. Yeah, no kidding, Monaco. Got overwhelmed by that a little bit. So, I think I was basically, what I'm trying to say is I was excluding the possibility of there being anything good about it because I was just like convinced that that level of hype must necessarily be somehow insincere or naive. And now that I've seen a very similar response be leveraged against this game in response to some of the stuff that came out of the Game Awards, 1 second, I'm gonna focus. Okay, it's getting a little bit better. It was a little too early there. And so I guess I just wanted to say that I understand where they're coming from, because you see everybody losing their shit about this thing, be like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever, oh my god, like, it's winning all these different awards, and it feels like, if you don't know anything about the game, you're like, are these people crazy? Are they losing their mind? You take one look at it and you're like, I guess it looks pretty, but I don't understand how it's like that good. But the more time I spend with this game, the more I love it. And also just as a professional, like, shit, the more I respect it, because like, they just understand game design so well, and they solve so many problems in such a genuinely intelligent way, that it's I was talking to my friend about this the other day as well, about like the soundtrack. If you listen in the back right now, you can hear like distinctly some how do you say, like some like saxophone music, and on many of the games that I've played, the soundtrack is defined by a very specific, very like strict palette, so to speak, and it would be considered a 1 second. I can do this. Okay, there we go. It would be considered like a mistake to incorporate music like this, because it's like a modern instrument being paired with less modern aesthetic or something like that. Somebody would say that it's not consistent, or I don't know. This game, like, going from a dubstep track on the one hand to like a saxophone solo on the other hand to like abstract experimental like shoegazy synth stuff on another, is like what some people would consider to be a mistake. But this game makes quote-unquote mistakes in such a bold and interesting and compelling way that it like pushes your understanding of what is allowed, so to speak, which then causes you to question, at least for me, like as somebody who's had very specific like design sensibilities or whatever drilled into my head for years, I get the opportunity, the rare opportunity, to question some of that paradigm that's been so deeply ingrained. And honestly, it's like, I think that's part of the reason maybe why people are pushing back against this game a little bit, is because it's like, it's a game that very clearly takes a lot of inspiration from classics in the genre, and also like wears its inspiration on its sleeves very proudly from many other titles. Like it draws aesthetic influences from Dishonored to me pretty clearly. It's a love letter to a lot of different things. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel in every regard, but it also does break from tradition and innovate and push in a lot of ways. And I think for some people who might be a bit ingrained in their ways and be like, this is the way that we do things in the industry, these are the lessons that we know, these are the rules that we know do work, or the tried and true formulae or whatever, and then they see like a team like this come along and be like, yeah, that's cute, but we're just gonna fucking swing for the fences and do some crazy shit, and it actually works. It's like, we've talked about this on stream before, but all that excuse me, sorry, all that rhetoric around like single player games are dead. Like, if you go single player, if you go narrative driven, if you do any of that shit, like, you're condemning your company and you're condemning your team to being like, to everybody getting fired or whatever, because you're not going to be able to be competitive, you're not going to keep up with the market trends, blah blah blah. And then it's like Baldur's Gate 3 comes along and it's like, yeah, that's cute and all, you can keep saying words out loud, but in the meantime, while you keep doing that, we're going to be over here making art and like knocking your socks off. So does it really matter? Or like, what, at the end of the day, what really matters to players, right, is a compelling experience. And that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And there's a lot of people who really, really like playing video games. And as long as you find a way to speak with like sincerity and passion and engagement to enough people, then you will find a way to like contribute something positive. I think that there's a lot of cynicism that comes from a lack of sincerity and from promises being made and then not being fulfilled. And you're much better off as a developer, as a studio, whatever, it's just like doing something that you find sincerely compelling. Oh shit, that was too early. And finding a way to exist well within that space, so to speak, rather than just like feeling like you have to chase some trend. Maybe you'll get lucky, but like 95% of the time it just doesn't work out. You're much better off at least trying to make something nice and trying to make something innovative, risk-taking, something that's like, a little bit challenging or whatever. Because even if you fail, then you have demonstrated like a risk-taking spirit. You've generated some useful data for people to pore over. You have, something to show for it that is memorable and important, as opposed to just like, I don't know, putting another thing in the bargain bin or whatever, having another live service game that doesn't go anywhere. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with live service games either, right? I love live service games when they're done well. But yeah, hopefully, I know I'm like rambling quite a bit, so hopefully that's making some sense. What I was trying to convey with all this is basically just like, it's very rare that a game comes along that I wind up enjoying as much as a developer as I do as a player, and that I wind up like continually getting more and more out of the more time I spend with it. Like Elden Ring is definitely one of them, and I've been replaying some of that, with my partner recently, and just like, I know people said this about Breath of the Wild too, but like, I don't know how they pulled that game off. It's like, I do and I don't, right? It's like the way that they achieved what they did with Elden Ring was essentially to build a very robust set of tools and techniques and what you would call prefabs, right? Like, so they developed a very robust set of animations, character models, static meshes, you know, modular building sets and environments, and developed a couple of core experiences. Like okay, this is a small dungeon. It takes the form of a cave or a catacomb. This is a large dungeon, and we're going to need to spend a lot of time on this. So we're going to start like allocating resources to these specific large dungeons early. But then, there was like areas of the game that had a lot of very narrow focus, but clearly by like a specialized team. But then areas of the game that were super modular and super flexible, and basically, you know, if you go to Altus, right, and you look at the walls and the cliffs and stuff that are kind of making up the barrier around Altus, and then you go back to Liurnia and you look around at what's making up the barriers around you, it's the same shit, right? It's the same meshes, it's the same textures, it's those big bulky like basalt looking cliff wall faces or whatever. There's some of the same plants, there's some of the same animals. You know, there are like certain flora and fauna are in the same places, but there will be little tweaks to them. Like the Miranda plants in Liurnia will have a blue tinge to them and will fire magic attacks. Those magic attacks are just like, as far as I can tell, they're repurposed from other spells. They're probably like shared visual effects from other things that have been tweaked a little bit, right? But even though you're seeing the same things and they're quote unquote recolors, there's enough differences to them that they feel genuinely different. And moreover, they combine and they blend together with the environment around them in a way that makes them feel special and unique for each place. One of the first things that you see, one of the most iconic sights that you'll see in Limgrave is those giants with the stakes through their chests with the chains on them, pulling that like mausoleum cart, funeral like chariot, whatever the hell that thing is that they're dragging around, that has a weapon in the back of it in the chest, right? And one of the first things that you'll see if you get to Altus via the precipice climb cave thing, like the second way, not the lift, is you will see those same carts. Now those carts, the way that they're presented is, instead of being like gracefully pulled along and sort of morosely, sorrowfully pulled along by these elegant but also like very dismal looking giants or trolls, instead of that, what you see is they're all kind of heaped in this very inelegant, very dirty, grimy looking pile, and the omens are kind of clambering all over them. If you actually look at the model of the of those carts themselves, like the funeral carts, whatever they're called, there's probably very little difference between the ones that you see there and the ones that you see being pulled by the giants. Like there's probably more scuffing, more weathering, like they probably did another material pass to make them look a little bit like older and more busted up. But essentially, once you make one of those, the delta of time and money invested between going from not having a single one of those in the game to then having one, and then going from that point to then populating that space with all of them, it's like you can literally like copy and paste the same asset, make a few different variations by tweaking some numbers, and then just like rotate them, skew them, stretch them a little bit, and you can build that space very, very quickly, comparatively, like in a couple of days, once you have that toolkit assembled. So the way that Elden Ring was able to do what it was able to do was to you know, pick its battles very carefully. And Francois, oh my god, what are you doing here, buddy? Hi. I was not expecting to see you here. Are you the secret final boss of the game? Oh my god. You know what? Say what you will about Simon. As long as I didn't have this spoiled for me, and this is like one of the coolest reveals, I would never have guessed that they would have brought him back here. This is so fucking cool. I'm so fucking happy that this happened. Anyway, Elden Ring is good because it's good. That's all you need to know. I'm gonna deal with Francois now. Oh god, those vocalizations that the Sakabatat there is making are like kind of disturbing, honestly. They're like musical but also like pained at the same time. It's kind of creepy. I guess yeah, jeez, I love them. Very, very well designed. Okay, let's see. Watch him have like 1 HP. Oh no, okay, they actually made him a real boss. I flinched at that other shield bash there. I also like that the oh, 1 second, I better pay attention to the strongest ice attack ever. For fuck's sake. That's pretty strong. And it did nothing. I was gonna say that I also like the fact that they are doing a good job of keeping the variety in the background. Like it's pretty subtle because the maybe I should actually pay attention. It's pretty subtle because the you know, the focus is on the enemies themselves. I haven't really been paying all that much attention to the stuff that's been happening in the background, but they're doing a really good job of like adding some subtle variation to the background, like changing the lighting, changing the skybox around, stuff like that, to make the environments themselves not feel stagnant. Yeah, franchement. I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but like, I think I mentioned this on stream the other day, right? There's that band that's called Frou Frou, or Frou Frou, I guess? And if I remember correctly, the name of the band is supposed to be the French onomatopoeia for the sound that like skirts make when they're swishing around while you're dancing, which is just like, it's so cool. You know, I love that as like a, not even an Easter egg, what would you call that? It's one of those like little sounds that conveys such a specific vivid and compelling image. Okay. How long does this go, man? This is intense. Nice, okay. Yeah, the counters are so powerful in this game. Damn, chill. Really upset with me. I do also really like, you know, how many different, what's the way to put this? So when it comes to like the parry and dodge system, right? If you decide you don't want to engage with the parry system, you have the option of dodging instead, which is like overall apparently, like I haven't really messed with it, but overall apparently safer. But it removes the possibility of you getting AP, I think, unless there's a specific picto for that. So there is a disadvantage to it as well. But then, like conversely, if you do decide to parry, there's multiple layers of like the risks and rewards with parrying. Like every single time you perform a successful parry, you have a chance of getting, or every single time you perform a successful parry, you will get, like one way or another, you will get a bit of AP back. So if you like have a combo that has 10 hits and you only manage to parry one of those 10 hits, you're still getting that 1 AP, and you can boost that so it actually can be quite a lot of AP that you get from that one thing. So the more you engage with it, the more you get out of it in a very like direct way, and it feels like it's always worth at least trying, because, you know, worst case scenario, or at least they give you quite a lot of options that are quite flexible. So like you can choose, oh wait, I'm exhausted so I can't, okay, hang on, I'll just do this. You know, the risk reward relationship and all that feels like very like genuinely satisfying and fair, and it gives you a great amount of opportunity to decide how much risk you are going to take, understanding exactly how much reward you're going to get out of it, and then to continue like modulating that relationship gradually over the course of the game as you get more and more familiar, both with the game overall, but also with individual enemies that you get better and better at fighting, if that makes sense. Speaking of which, See, so like I didn't really perform very well there. um, but even though like I wouldn't consider that like a successful parry combo because I made so many mistakes, I still got a little bit of health back every time I did succeed, and I also got AP back when I did succeed. So the overall like parrying the combo situation wasn't a full success because I didn't get the counter, including the counter damage, excuse me, that I really wanted to get. But at the same time, it still felt like those little cumulative mini successes were adding up in a way that felt like I don't feel discouraged from trying again, even though I failed. I don't feel like I failed. Does that make sense? Because of the way that it's getting like apportioned out and split up. And I just think it's really smart design. And going back to what I was saying before too, like, you know, I get that there's problems in our industry, and I get that there are problems in our society, and there's lots of weird, scary shit going down. And I hope things get better, and there's things that we should do actively to try to make it get better. But not to contradict it, just in addition to that, like, how cool is it that we live in a time where games like this are being made like that narrative of like single player is dead is gone. Like, that narrative is dead, right? And you know, say what you will about whether or not you personally like this game or like Baldur's Gate 3 or anything like that. I have problems with Baldur's Gate 3. I have opinions about Baldur's Gate 3, believe me. I'd be happy to dive into that particular ramble. But like, we're living in this age and with this context where we can see stuff like this happening and experience it in real time, share it with each other. You know, we have access to like emergent communities where we can discuss it, and the developers seem genuinely actually interested in hearing what the fans have to say and in building things according to their feedback. Why do I keep doing this? What am I doing? There we go. I don't know. It's really cool. There was, I mean, granted, like, this is, I want to interrupt myself, actually, because I just want to point out as well that, like, this game doesn't like hide a lot of its, you know, how can I phrase this? I wanted to call out the fact that when the Sakabatat attacks with its partner, you know, it might not be immediately apparent, especially if you're new at the game, what exactly is like being swung at you. But the fact that it says that the Sakabatat is attacking with its dead partner, and it's something that's just kind of like out there for you to discover, and it's kind of subtle and you can miss it, I like that. I do wonder if it's even a little too subtle, because I think, you know, maybe some folks are going to miss that entirely and miss out on that little tidbit, but it's like a little extra secret there for those who are paying close attention, and it's just one line of text that could easily be missed, but at the same time, it's like, it gives you such a compelling, one sec, little bit of detail about this character that just adds so much, you know? I'm not describing it adequately, but I really value that inclusion. I wish there was a way to like buff Verso's perfection gain with Monaco somehow. Ah shit, that was too early. Too early. There we go, that's better. Also, that's another like just kind of keeping in line with the overall. One second, who should I deal with? I think I might actually. I'm already in offensive, so maybe I'll just go into Stendhal on. Talk about that. Keeping in line with the sense of humor that comes along with the Sakabatats and the Gestral and all that. I like the fact that you know, they keep that humor going with those text descriptions as well. Like, I find the the notion that it specifically says like it's attacking with weird electric things is so great. There's a little bit of overkill there, bro. So chill, you got him. I will say, since I've been speaking so positively for so long, and at my core I am a salty old man, I will just say that I do find that kind of... Wait, 1 second. Actually, I should pay attention. I do find this like bright neon glowing green to be... That was really hard to read for some reason. The bright neon glowing green, it doesn't feel like a natural part of the color palette of the game. I don't know how to describe it. There's a lot of like bright, vibrant colors that are pretty like bold, but something about that green really feels artificial, feels like stock almost. I don't know if that's me being unfair. It just doesn't really feel like it fits. But I noticed just now that there's like a person kind of coming out of the amber, which is so fucking cool. It's such a cool little detail. And maybe you could argue that the see, I can't even like try to be negative about this game for too long, but like the color does kind of obscure the silhouette a little bit, like especially on the left it blends in. It's harder to see the hands, but that's such a cool fucking little detail though. I'm not even mad about it. But yeah, I guess I'll stick with that. That I don't think the color itself really fits with the rest of the palette, and it's kind of hard for me to see what the design direction there was supposed to be. But whatever, it's not the end of the world. Okay, I think let's try to get rid of this. See how well that goes. Yeah, okay. Generally, I like to clear the playing board of the minor enemies so that I'm just focused on the major threat. I wonder if there's anything I could do to exploit the windmill. Is that supposed to be something I'm interacting with? I don't see anything. Nice. Well, let's see. I'm in agile. Okay, might as well do that. And I think I'll just heal my L. Play it safe. Violence. Violence. Oh wait, actually I haven't done his gradient like ever. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh. Beautiful. I like that. That's awesome. Then yeah. I feel like I should take more advantage of her fire skills. And then Besso can come along and break him, and then go straight from the break into his Endbringer. Keep him stunned for a turn. Make sure I actually pick the right attack this time. Thank you. Nope. I do like the thematic, like, style, like, gameplay style that he has of, like, building up power over extended periods of time. I think I should give Monaco, like, one thing that just does like solid damage though, because I do, yeah, I wish that there was one item, like a consumable grenade or something like that, because I do feel like in the same way that you can like have a character who's totally kitted out to be offensive, but they can still avail themselves of like a generic shared like defensive ability or something, that it could be good to have the inverse, so that you have like your support defensive characters, but if they've already done all the supporting, like everybody's sealed up, everybody's already like, you know, topped off and prepared, and the enemies are debuffed, it's like, well, it'd be nice to do like just some decent chunk of damage, and I'm not really built for that, but if I have like 3 fire bombs or something per fight, that I could avail myself of. That would be kind of cool. And that's something I think that, like, Super Mario RPG, if I'm remembering correctly, had things like that. Like, you just had defensive items and offensive items, and it is kind of interesting to me that, like, the actual consumables that you can use in this game are pretty limited. Definitely not a flaw, but I wonder if in prototyping, if they messed with the idea of having any other options for that, if that makes sense. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. How many more of these are there? We're already at 9, okay. I wonder if, what's her name has anything to say? Clair? Sorry, said still here. Sorry about that. Read a paragraph in Carrie 1947 and had to immediately take notes on it, but you were listening. Oh yeah, no worries, dude. Like, I appreciate that you're here. I appreciate that you chat and participate, but of course, like, you're never under any obligation to to chat. You can take as much time as you want. You can just listen in the background. In fact, I think I'll do a couple more, and then I will go and listen to some conversations in camp to finish off the evening. I'm getting pretty tired. I'll be back, like, actually back next week.
Méfiance.
Oh shit, no. It's pretty much over, honestly. Yeah. You know what, actually, I think this is a good time. I think this is the game telling me that, like, it's time to take a break. So, let's go to camp and let's enjoy some chill conversations before we close things out for the evening. Because I'm, like, just on the threshold of exhaustion and just about to start, like, getting my ass kicked. So, quit while I'm ahead, so to speak. He's gonna bonk himself on the head. Oh, no. Okay. Also don't want to just be like coughing at you guys all night long. Alright. Can I go to camp from here? No, that's fine. Just go back to the continent. Honestly, that's great. That was a lot of fun. I think there's another benefit to the inclusion of that of the gauntlet as well, because it makes me feel like it's a great opportunity for you to get some extra feet for Monaco without having to, like, just run around the overworld endlessly to try to figure out where you have missed them. I guess the risk of that is that you can wind up funneling, like, rather than going and exploring for them, like, on a second playthrough or whatever. Well, I guess, like, we shouldn't judge it by a second playthrough, but if you figure out that arena is there and you haven't really done a whole lot of foot gathering with Monoko, then you're not then going to go specifically go foot hunting for him. So it might have been interesting if they had, like, some quests, like, maybe they actually have this and they just haven't found it, but if you could go to, like, the Gestral village or whatever and find a notice board, like in The Witcher, and they would be like, hey, we've seen a monster in this area that might have a foot for you, because that would be another way of getting you to explore unvisited or maybe, like, not thoroughly explored parts of the game that might still have more things for you to discover in, while also specifically doing your quest to, like, level up this particular character's abilities. I think it's a pretty smart idea to have a gauntlet with all these different enemies and stuff, because you can take a quick look and see if they have a foot available, and if they do, like, you can swap in Monaco for that trial. You can repeat the trial and stuff like that. So it's smart. I think there's, in another universe or whatever, they could have also had, like, a foot scavenger hunt. I can't believe I said that out loud, but that would have been another way of doing something similar, sorry, I said my brain immediately went to hyperfocus mode, and I was like, write that down, write that down. So I had to. Oh, I totally get it. Francois. Oh, interesting. Francois really misses Claire, huh? Waits for. Oh, I want to talk.
tous les jours. Il a cessé de chanter quand elle est partie.
I don't know. Well, their personalities they're perfect for each other, honestly.
Et ce n'est pas grave. Elle finira par revenir lui rendre visite. Et alors, il sera de nouveau joyeux.
Oh dear.
Tu me crois vraiment?
C'est sa meilleure amie. Ça fait plusieurs siècles qu'elle est partie, mais elle ne l'abandonnera pas comme ça.
Interesting. So, the painting itself, like the timeline of the painting, existed for centuries before Maëlle was like brought into it and painted into it.
Tout comme toi, tu ne m'abandonneras jamais.
Est-ce qu'il te manque? Verso. Je veux dire, ton verso. Oui, bien sûr. Pardon, je sais pas pourquoi je t'ai demandé ça. C'était vraiment stupide. Mais je me demandais ça parce que tu ne le mentionnes jamais en ma présence.
C'est parce que ça te rend triste.
Est-ce que ça te dérange que je ne sois pas lui, je veux dire?
Tu es mon ami. Et l'autre verso l'était aussi. Vous êtes
That's such a wholesome response.
pareil, mais aussi différent.
Est-ce qui est... Merci. Mon ami.
Nous partirons toujours à l'aventure ensemble?
A sound of contentment, yes. That's really, really sweet. Unbreakable and eternal. That's lovely. That's really sweet. I love that. That was so sweet. Oh, cool. Angel's Eyes. That's cool. They talk more about what kind of adventures they want to go on next. Then they head back to the others. Let's see. I'm very curious about what this skill does. Is it just... Can I not... Oh, skill tree. Deals extreme physical damage, 8 hits. Gain 1 additional perfection per hit. Oh, that's pretty great. Applies Aureole to Verso, reviving him if he dies. Oh, nice. That's really, really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that conversation so much. We get so much insight into like the depth and warmth of Esquier's like character and soul from just that little interaction there. So great.
Alors, comment comptes-tu regagner leur confiance?
Avoue que tu prends ton pied là. Ça tombe bien, toi qui collectes.
Tu ne peux plus t'appuyer sur ton charme et tes cheveux bien coiffés. Alors, c'est quoi le plan maintenant? Au moins, elle te...
You know, this is such a random reference. I don't know if anybody will know this, but have you seen that like drug PSA, like that anti-marijuana PSA, which actually like breaks my heart. It's like this little doodle, like almost like a stick figure sketch of like a dude who's just like sitting on a couch or sitting on a bed or something smoking weed, and his dog is like sitting there. Like dog comes up to him and he's like, I miss hanging out with you, like I miss when we used to go on walks and do stuff. That broke me a little bit because there was when I first saw it, because there was a time where I was like really addicted to playing online games, and I just like didn't spend enough time with my dog, and I felt like a real piece of shit. So I as a big motivation to honestly, like, my dog got me to quit World of Warcraft because like after a few weeks or a month I realized I was just like, I never I wasn't like going on hikes with her anymore. I wasn't like really training her the way that I should, and I was like, yeah, I am making the wrong decision here. So I quit basically because I didn't want to disappoint her. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, puppy. But like, this is kind of what the vibe I'm getting from Monaco right now, except instead of like smoking a reefer, it's just like, oh, you resulting in the death of countless numbers of innocent people because of your pride and selfishness. Tisk 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 tisk. But when a dog looks at you disappointingly, it's like there's no worse feeling in the world.
Les couleurs du ciel, les étoiles qui scintillent. C'est une nuit pleine de promesses.
Oui.
Nous allons ramener Noko.
Déjà, je croyais que tu préférais attendre que les choses se calment un peu.
Oh wow, his face is like all kind of messed up. Wow.
Qui sait combien de temps demain nous accordera? Non. Offrons à Noko le cadeau de cette journée. Rejoindre le fleuve sacré ne présente pas de difficulté. Nous ne sommes pas loin. Il est tout proche de la gare.
Ça ne fera pas plaisir à Golgra que tu passes devant tout le monde, d'autant que ce n'est pas la première fois.
Je verrai avec elle plus tard. Tu m'as déjà aidé à ramener Noko une fois.
Oh, interesting.
Puis-je encore compter sur toi?
Toujours.
I'm glad they didn't give us an option to say no. It just wouldn't make sense. Okay, so let's go do that now, actually. I still do wish there was a way to leave camp without sleeping. That feels weird that you have to sleep to leave, but that's fine. Yeah, let's go do that. I know we were there before. We found it in the wild.
Ouais. C'est ce qu'on appelle fendre le ciel.
What is he even saying? Okay, so the station is like up there, right? So it's got to be... Oh, I think I see it actually. Yeah, that wasn't far at all. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Whoop. And I do very much like the fact that the game gave us the opportunity to discover this space like earlier on and build up some intrigue and mystery about it. And now that's all paying off. And it paid off in a very organic way too. These things are so cool. Are some of these new now? Like, I don't remember seeing those two there before. So I wonder if that means that they're like newly resurrected or something? Like they're next in the queue, so to speak, but I don't remember. I'm also curious to when it comes time to learn more about the lore, I'm curious how much of the stuff in this world was all specifically painted and designed deliberately by the paintress. So like, or by the painter family, I should say at this point, right? Like, did they basically kind of set this up as its own ecosystem and then let it evolve and develop on its own? I mean, like clearly they did, right? Because they didn't necessarily know the names of everybody in Lumiere and like be controlling all of their wishes and desires and have their whole lives scripted out for them, right? They kind of like wound up the clock and then let it run, and it could diverge and do its own things, right? Because so I'm guessing that they kind of just like brought the Gestalt to life and then like gave them the freedom, the free will to kind of like develop of their own accord. Yeah. I'm actually surprised that they gave me no as an option there.
Ça faisait longtemps que je n'étais pas venu ici.
Oh, I already got that bit of lore. Sorry, I guess I forgot.
Le fleuve sacré.
There's such a beautiful phrase in French. Le fleuve sacré.
Faisons vite. Il ne faudrait pas qu'elle...
Manoko.
Oh no.
Eso que mabano for me lazy Kelly warrior.
She's not very good at the shit talking, is she?
Comment as-tu su que j'étais ici?
Narupo que te obemido.
Oh, gross. Ew.
Évidemment.
I didn't think about how they smelled. Thanks for ruining everything, Golgra.
C'est une règle stupide. Nous devrions tous les ramener sans attendre.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. I was wondering if, like, did the painters specifically determine the rule that the Jeshral had to, like, go through a certain waiting period, and, like, did they design this resurrection system with the river with all its limitations, or is that something that the Jeshral developed on their own? And it looks like that was answered for me, so that's cool. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Excuse me. It was like the weirdest fucking yawn of my life.
Dans ce cas, tu ne me laisses pas le choix.
Oh non. Réfléchis-y à 2 fois, Monoko.
C'est déjà fait. 3 fois même. Golgra, j'exige une résolution par combat.
Finally, we get the rematch.
Est-ce que je dois participer?
Aide-moi, je t'en prie.
Alors, pour Noko.
Was it just going to be a duo? Oh, that's actually really cool. I like that. I'm glad we get the rematch with her after the humiliating defeat I had on that mountaintop or whatever. At the Jeshral Arena, I mean. Let's see how well this goes. Is she gonna grunt like that every single time? Yep, apparently. Oh, this is so much easier, though. Okay. Well, I say that, famous last words, eh? Allora, let's try this. Okay. And I think, even though... Do I slow her, or do I apply... Let's do some more shields, I think. This could very easily go skew. Yeah. Okay, that was the correct choice. I don't think this is gonna be that bad, actually. Stop it! Stop making that noise! Oh shit, you distracted me. I almost missed my attack. There we go. There was something like that in, isn't there something like that in Dragon Ball Z Abridged where, like, this one character just keeps making, like, these, like, horrible sensuous moans every time he gets hit? It's almost time for my squat session. It's like, oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Ferme-la, tu veux, Monoko?
Je ne te dirai pas merci.
Yeah, fair.
Merci.
Oh, he's such a softie. Good puppy. Saria said, Verso made the Gestral and the Grandi. Aline made Lumiere and its people. Claire and Renoir created pretty much everything hostile. Ah, I see, okay. Well, Aline made this Verso too and painted Claire and painted Alicia. I see, okay.
Qu'il est bon d'entendre ta voix.
Tiens, salut Noko. Alors, comment va mon marchand préféré?
Golgra, tu pleures? Pas encore, j'en ai peur. Nous avons une mission. Tu te souviens de nos amis de l'expédition?
I'm surprised a little bit that he's retained his memories. I thought that was kind of one of the stipulations of the resurrection. Oh, what? Okay.
Ils seront très heureux de te voir. Ils se faisaient du souci pour toi. Viens, retournons au camp. Nous avons trouvé tout plein de trésors pour toi.
I'm just realizing this now. The 2 dots in the middle of Monaco's mask are supposed to be eyes, aren't they? I don't know why this entire time my brain just, like, didn't process the glyphs on his mask as anything other than, like, random scribbles, but now the 2 little dots, I'm seeing them as eyes, and I can't unsee it. It's like, if you watch, I'm sorry to ruin this for you, but, like, if you watch BoJack Horseman, if you look at the at his nostrils near his mouth, it looks like he has a small alien head attached to the bottom of his face. And now I can't unsee that. Every time I watch that show, anytime the horse characters are on screen, like, it just looks like they have like a parasitic little alien mouth that's at the end of their snoot that's talking for them. It looks so fucking weird. Once I saw that, I could never unsee it, and now I'm seeing, and like the little triangles are meant to be like a quizzical expression of his. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe his real eyes are under there or something. But no, I think it's meant to represent that now, and I can't unsee it.
Marotura noko tu villaggio. Noko gani biva. Noko? Vivono na village.
Mais c'est moi qui dois veiller sur lui.
Je sais que tu veux garder Noko à tes côtés, mais il sera plus en sécurité.
Yeah, the village is probably a better idea considering he just died.
Attends-moi. Je reviens le plus vite possible.
Vive to bosira.
I hope that Jestra right there gets a break, because if he's just like standing there resurrecting people all day.
Ça, c'est bien vrai. Merci de ton aide. Je n'ai jamais compris comment Golgra avait pu devenir aussi forte.
Je pourrais la battre tout seul.
Don't say things like that out
C'est la
loud.
dernière fois que je montre de la vulnérabilité en ta présence.
Fucking Verso, right?
Allez, viens, rentrons au camp.
Okay, well, obviously I'm gonna go back to camp to finish up this part of the quest. And then I'm probably gonna go have a coughing fit, which I will do off stream, unless you guys really want to hear that shit, which I'm going to assume you don't. So, Saria, when are you gonna start the Verso fan club for true Verso fans and Verso fans only? If any bit of sympathy I had for him is fucking gone. Oh, I don't know. You seem pretty into this Verso guy. You keep talking about him after all. You sure you don't want to start a fan club or something like that? Verso knows his old friend wants to talk even if he's too proud to admit it. Verso approaches Monoko.
Ça va? Au moins Noko est en sécurité. Et il va pouvoir commencer à se réajuster.
Chaque fois qu'il revient, il change légèrement. Et je pleure la disparition de celui qu'il était avant. Mais il est toujours là. Mon ancien
His old
mentor.
mentor. Oh, interesting.
Merci, mon ami.
That's so cool. That's such a cool detail. Wait, I'm sorry. You missed this line of dialogue? You actually fucking hate this guy? Wait. You hate him more because of that? Well, I think that's a good place to stop for this evening. We just crested the 3-hour mark. We had a nice mixture of plot development and quests, as well as combat challenges. So I think before I start erupting into coughing like a maniac over here, I'm going to go and get some rest. I will post a poll tomorrow and ask what people want to do with the stream on Sunday. We can continue going forth with the Noodles versus Apollo analysis and finish up the remainder of that discussion. Other than that, I guess the other two options are to start with the Sage Naruto stuff or to respond to another debate. I think probably the Sage Naruto would be my preference. Sage Naruto versus Pain, obviously. But I'll post a poll. We'll see what people want to do. Sorry, it says, oh, can you do Mael? Yeah, sure. Let's do Mael first. No problem. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Maël.
J'en ai plus qu'assez que tout le monde me dise de rentrer à la maison. Alors n'insiste pas,
Fair.
s'il te plaît.
Très bien, comme tu voudras.
Ils comptent tous sur moi ici. Alors je ne les laisserai pas tomber. Et je refuse de t'abandonner toi aussi.
Just take the opportunity to mention yet again that I wish the French actors at least got nominations at the Game Awards, but yeah, guess you can't win them all. I mean, I'm sure that the English cast did a wonderful job as well, but you know, like, these performances I'm extremely fond of. That's a really cool shot too.
J'ai trouvé la lettre.
Quoi?
La lettre d'Alicia. Il faut que je la voie. J'ai besoin de lui parler. Pour comprendre
Comprendre quoi?
pourquoi maman...
Quoi? Pourquoi elle a gardé ses cicatrices? Non, ne lui retourne pas le cerveau. Elle n'a certainement pas besoin de ça, et elle ne te doit aucune réponse.
C'est elle qui revenait sans cesse vers moi. Je crois qu'elle a envie de me voir.
Laisse-la tranquille. S'il te plaît.
Tu sais, Verso, tu lui rends vraiment pas service. T'as déjà détruit son monde. Peut-être que je peux l'aider. Je sais bien qu'elle me doit rien, mais... peut-être que moi, je lui dois bien ça. Et on va éviter de parler de ce que toi, tu lui dois. Tu n'as pas envie de la revoir?
Bien sûr que si. Mais elle ne veut pas me voir. Pas après tout ce qui s'est passé.
Dans ce cas, elle nous mettra dehors et on la laissera tranquille.
I'm still missing like a P. Yeah, I'm missing my P. No, I'm missing a key piece of understanding, I think.
C'est bon? Génial. Où est-elle?
Si je devais deviner, il y a un endroit qu'elle adore, avec le troisième accent.
Oh, there's another one.
On dirait qu'il va falloir grimper alors.
A giant tower on the island of the last axon near the monolith. Okay. Is that something that we can go quickly and take a look at? Doesn't want to see me. Yeah, man, genociding the fucking world would do that. I don't understand. Like, I don't mean to make you explain it again, but I still don't get it. It's Renoir who's the one who's destroying the world, not Verso. Can you read that? Do we have that letter in the inventory somewhere? Where is it? I also need to find the little, come si chiama? Non mi ricordo il nome. The fucking Burjon. The little guy. I really wish I had the letter that I could read still. Okay. Actually want to try one thing really quick. 1 second. And then I probably need to give it a rest for tonight. Where is breaking rules? Do I not have it? Yeah, okay. Just because I don't know when to quit, I want to see if I can quickly do the Leafy Sea Dragon thing. And then I promise for next time I will actually like go through and work on my build a bit. Okay, here we go. Oh, you think I should do it next time? Okay. So I'll mess with this and then we're gonna go. Verso helped him, John. Verso knew that what Renoir was trying to do. Painted, Renoir was trying to stop you. He killed people because through him doing it, the painters could come back. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to like play it again on my own, like off stream, like really focus on the story because I think some of the stuff just went over my head, unfortunately. That's okay. I like the fact that there's still quite a bit of mystery, even if it's just because I'm slow. Oh right, I forgot about this. But that's actually not so bad. Like, now that I understand... Okay, yeah. Wow, that's a massive fucking delta. Okay, that's fine. Oh, it's weak against electricity. That's good to know. Wait, do I... Okay, so I can use, Miles. Okay, so I'll just do that. Yeah, I can use, Gustav's Remembrance or whatever it's called. Alright, let's do this. Actually, I think slowing it down is going to be very useful. Greater slow is good too. And then I'll, what is his actually base gradient? Dark damage, goes to Almighty Mass, deals double damage. Oh, I should combo that with, fucking Versus thing as well. Alright, let's just get some, no, you know what? Oh, I have 2 slows, that's redundant. I should replace the Impale, I think. Didn't realize that. Oh, what the fuck? I didn't know that could happen. Did that happen last time? Oh well. That's really cool, actually. Verso withheld information and it led to everyone dying. I see, okay. That makes more sense now. Phantom Strike. Oh, I should have saved for Gustav so much. That's fine. Okay, can I just go... Actually, since I have 2 attacks, I can just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And go to this. 1, 2, 3. Now I can go straight into... what we're doing, this one, and Bringer. Will it extend the stun? It will. Okay, now where was the thing? Increased damage. Oh wait, it's my... Can I afford it? Yes. High dark damage, deals double damage with the target is stunned. Let's try it. It's pretty good. Not really all that great though. Let's see, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some more buffs.
Attention.
What are you doing? This is actually really beautiful. The audio cue there was super helpful. I don't know if you guys heard it, but there was like this little rumbling, like rolling in of the attack that lined up very, very nicely with the parry window. I feel like that was very well executed. Yeah, I really want to try this and see how well it does. It doesn't quite match up to Stendhal, but that's okay. That's still nice. Like, I feel like I should be using that more. I wonder if there's a way to change my build so that it like makes that attack in particular like super powerful. I feel like I should be using it more just to you know, honor Gustav's legacy. It feels weird to like never touch that. Nice, okay, yeah. I thought that thing was gonna be fucking impossible. Every AP gain is increased by 1. Okay, that's kind of amazing.
Enfin, on a tué ce maudit serpent.
Quel merveilleux combat.
Ça t'apprendra pour m'avoir avalé aussi souvent.
For eating him so many times. Damn, okay. They have a history, huh? Wait, do these things like respawn? I thought I got that one already. Hang on a minute. If that's the case, then that's interesting. That would definitely open up some build possibilities, but also feels kind of gamey. That can't be. No, that can't be. That would just break everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there was some over here that I would have seen by now. Yeah. Okay, I think I was just imagining that I hadn't seen that one before. Asaria says, "Aw, Bohu, my sister doesn't want to see me after killing our dad and erasing all human life from the world except us, even though I thought we'd die too. Woe is me." I mean, he's had it pretty rough, man. He didn't get literally everything he wanted. It's really hard when that happens. Okay, so let me just park Esquier, like, out in front here. Unless, I doubt we can just, like, fly up to it, right? So, let's just park him in front, and then we'll be poised to start on this phase of our journey next time. I want to say thank you again so much to everybody who stopped by. I really do appreciate the support and the views and all that. I hope you're doing very well and have a great rest of your week. So yeah, I'll post that poll tomorrow at some point. We will have a Naruto discussion on Sunday. I might wind up doing it a little earlier in the day because I got invited to do something with some friends at night. I'm a little hesitant because I'm not a very, like, it's kind of a very social thing, and I don't usually do this sort of thing, but I'm kind of trying to get out of my shell this year a little bit more, so I'm probably going to do the stream earlier in the day so that I can make that event later in night. I will post the time, and I will also post the poll within the next day or so. In the meantime, Saria, thank you again, as always, for the engagement and the encouragement and the insight about the lore in the game and all that. Best of luck in the ongoing initial phases of your internship. I'm glad it's going well so far, and I hope it gets better and better every day. Yeah, I hope you have a great night and a great rest of your week. I'll see you Sunday.